your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Improving weather as we go through our weekend. Partly sunny skies, though. Still kind of hot and humid going through the afternoon. We'll keep an eye out for a spot thunderstorm, 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, 70. The weekend, sunny skies. Good temperatures, good humidity levels, 86 on Saturday. Saturday night, clear skies, 68. Sunday, sunny and comfortable, 86. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at ThrottleNet, and you've probably heard George Rosenthal from ThrottleNet on the show. He's a technology whiz, and George and his team can educate you and your business on the dangers lurking with technology. Here's a unique opportunity along those lines. Does your company have a lunch and learn or guest speakers? For a limited time, ThrottleNet is providing free lunch and learns to provide cybersecurity awareness training. One click can cause a ton of damage to your business. ThrottleNet is determined to make sure that doesn't happen. And if it does, they're the cybersecurity experts who can help. ThrottleNet is known for high customer satisfaction, averaging 99% happiness with over 35,000 surveys. They have an industry-leading response time of less than 2 minutes. And no clients of ThrottleNet have ever paid ransom as a result of a cyber attack. Contact ThrottleNet at throttlenet.com/971 and we can schedule your free company lunch. Don't miss out. Find out more today about ThrottleNet at throttlenet.com/971.
AirComfortService.com, website you can visit right now, and you can learn about the different specials, rebates, financing that Air Comfort has for any of your HVAC concerns. I appreciate what Air Comfort Service has been able to do for me and in my home. Air Comfort Service is there to make sure that you are taken care of, that you stay in your comfort zone, that you are in a position where when the heater isn't heating the way it's supposed to, or the air conditioner isn't air conditioning the way it's supposed to, that they come in, they can do the tune-up, they can do the maintenance, they can check out what's going on and get you back on the fast track to being in your comfort zone. And they've done that for my house multiple times over. They right now are celebrating 55 years, and they have a $55 off summer special. So I want you to check this out. Like I said, aircomfortservice.com for more details. For a limited time, save $55 off any AC repair. If you need them to come out and check this out, this is a time to save. So don't miss out on this. Or you can save $55 off a new water heater as well. All the details online. Make sure you tell them that Annie sent you. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Come out to Midwest Wingfest in Fairview Heights, Illinois, a legendary food and music festival that benefits combat wounded soldiers and the families of local fallen heroes. There's all kinds of food, from delicious wings to barbecue, plenty of drinks, awesome live music, and a massive kids area, a huge military and first responder area where kiddos get to meet their local heroes and more. Entries $5 for patrons 12 and over. Upgrade your experience with VIP tickets that include unlimited chicken wings from Dandy Inn, beer from Chick Fritz distributors, as well as private restrooms. Skip the line and save when you prepay by August 23rd at MidwestWingfest.com.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Save with summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get the tools and parts you need for your next brake job with Brake Best Select, Select Pro, and import direct brake pads and rotors now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome. Happy Friday. My headache was so bad yesterday, I couldn't come into work. I apologize for that. I heard from a lot of people that upon me, I got just railroaded yesterday with a migraine. Brad and Ryan picked up and made it super simple for me to stay home, which is good because I couldn't see while I was driving. I actually had to pull over while I was driving yesterday because my migraine, I get the aura funny stuff when in my vision. I lose vision. But then here's Gary, who seemed to be here, and he said, Annie, I hate to do this, but I must tell you, those two thugs trashed you all day yesterday.
Did we trash her all day yesterday? I'm sure we trashed her a little bit.
Trash is a harsh word.
Gary then said they were relentless, but I had to stay and listen. So this might still be a win for you guys. Did you just do it? Did we do what we had to do to keep the people?
I don't know. I mean, I think that we did a decent show. I think that we...
It's just like, there's some trepidation in that
yeah,
statement.
I mean, I never really know.
You show up, you want to do a good job, you hope to do a good job. I feel like we did a pretty good job.
You bring your thoughts.
Your
Brad
A-game.
quoted Marks several times.
You're saying other things you said. You're not. You're not. This is like politician stuff, but I'm good at this.
Uh-huh.
I see what you're trying to say, and my job is to hear what people are not saying and tell people what they're dodging. And right now, it's the fact that you trashed me.
You know what people are not saying is they're not saying we did a bad job.
Look.
Well, I'm not reading you those comments.
Listen.
Yeah. Look. Listen.
It was.
Did you do the work?
It was a show yesterday that I felt like was worthy of listenership. Listenership that people tuned in for the radio to hear.
And let me be clear. The listeners are what is at the forefront of what we're trying to do.
Without the listeners, there is no one listening.
Yeah.
In essence.
Yeah. You guys probably aren't wrong.
We moved forward, unburdened by what has been. And now we are back.
Was I the burden?
With the burden. But it's a Friday.
Kamala Harris approves this message. Well, I'm glad to be back. If you are a migraine sufferer, it's something that you don't have to explain to people. For those of you who have never had a migraine, some people are like, I get really bad headaches. Migraine headaches are different than bad headaches. Cluster headaches are different than migraine headaches. I come by them genetically. They are hereditary. I have gotten some form of migraine headache since I was 10 years old, and I really have not gotten them lately. I don't know the last time that I had to not do a show because I had a migraine.
Would you say that, so not a cluster headache? Because yesterday was a cluster.
It was a cluster, but it was a migraine headache that caused a cluster.
Okay.
Yeah. You were the cluster.
You were the bird.
Thank you. Thank you. There you go. And we're back together again. So I'm grateful to be back. I apologize for having to miss yesterday, but like I said, when I get migraine headaches, and like I said, people who know this. If you've never experienced it, it's a very bizarre thing. But it's like I lose my peripheral vision, and as the peripheral vision goes away, it kind of consumes the main vision of my eye, and then it makes it so that like whatever I'm looking at, I just cannot see. And this happened to me so fast when I was driving on 270 yesterday that I had to pull over, and my parents had to come get me and take me home because I couldn't see while I was driving. So I was going to come in and do the show with the headache, but I couldn't do the show with the headache and without vision.
Or on 270.
Yes. You could have, you really could have come and got me.
Like I said yesterday on the air, she has not texted me all day, and I'm super offended.
Yeah?
Yeah, you were talking with Brad. We got health updates. But I was saying Annie is not personally texting me from her deathbed.
Brad is the producer.
Yes.
You want me to text you those updates too?
Not really.
No, you don't.
I just want you to tell me that I'm doing a good
Brad
job.
doesn't even want me to text him those updates.
Ryan, I'll just forward her messages that she sends me to you
Please
when
do.
she sends them to me.
That's not authorized. What, are you going to send him the ones when we're talking about him?
No.
Okay.
What ones are you talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have nothing. That's never happened.
Now I really need reassurance from you right now. Text me.
I didn't get to watch a ton of news last night. I went to watch The Five, and it was Donald Trump's press conference, which was yet another press conference where he just goes, yes, on and on and on, but he talks about issues in front of people. He was in Bedminster, New Jersey, at his Jersey home, and I could see how if you were just strolling by the television and you saw that his press conference was on, I think you would stop to listen. But I don't know if you weren't super interested in politics or the election, you're like, it's August. Doesn't this thing happen months away? Yes, it's like 81 days. I don't know that you would stop and like sit down and lock in. But he absolutely still should be doing it. Kamala Harris isn't. From what I understood, she is finally going to sit down for an interview. So that's very good. It's just it's with a running mate. It's not with an actual reporter.
I thought this was news.
Yeah, I tried.
Because we reported this yesterday. Oh my gosh, how stupid is that?
I mean, it's par for the course.
Yeah, I mean, we're not hearing from her at all, so.
There's nothing worse than watching the two of them rub each other's shoulders.
What if Tim Walz gave her a real hardball interview? like really asking her the questions people want to know, and they didn't edit it because clearly they released a trailer of the interview. I mean, you talk about movie productions. That's all this is. It's just all glitz and shine.
Which includes a clip of when she called to ask him to be the VP. He didn't answer the phone. And they thought it was hilarious.
It's so funny.
It went to my voicemail. I didn't recognize the number. Totally relatable because of all the stupid phone calls and texts we get from politicians who want our money all the time. And yeah, I'm talking about the people on my own side. I hate them. Do you get them?
Not much. I've signed up for like one poll one time, and I get calls from that pollster. That's about it.
You get no texts?
I've been very careful.
I'm so signing you up. I'm
No,
donating
don't
money
do
in
that.
your name. That money is going to be my money in your name. You're going to be very generous, but I'm going to be like, I just want to make sure that you keep me informed.
You be careful now, because if you start doing that, you're going to start getting a whole bunch of stuff in the regular mail.
Mm-hmm. I already do.
No, I know. I've done this to my friends before.
People do this to me all the time.
They sign you up for things?
All the time. It's the freaking worst.
I used to sign my friends up. This was probably a number of years ago now. I think I did it to one of my teachers. I found out their address, and I just signed them up for a bunch of weird magazines. But I did it to my friends.
What do you mean by weird magazines?
I don't even remember, but they were ones that you would, not want people to know you were getting. And I would sign people up for those magazines only when they were free. Yeah. If I got Good Housekeeping, I'm like, oh, no.
If you're a 16-year-old dude in 1998 and you're getting Better Homes and Gardens.
This is not my Pampered Chef catalog. I swear.
Longaberger baskets. Do you even know?
I did not order oil of Olay.
So did you guys watch? The press conference took place after the show got over yesterday.
So Brad and I had a lot of work to do after the show yesterday.
Why?
So we were kind of
apologies.
All the normal stuff. We were tag teaming, and I think we both had it on. I can't tell you that we were paying close attention.
He talked about a lot of stuff, and he went in on a lot of varying issues. And there's this guy, he's on TikTok again. I see TikTok stuff on Twitter or whenever it gets posted on old people social media. I don't have TikTok. We're working on setting one up somehow or another because I'm not putting it on my phone. I'm not, like, it's just going to go out into the TikTok world. We might be the biggest thing on TikTok. I will not know that this has happened. But we do feel like there's a benefit to being there. Trump's campaign has kind of proven that. So this guy he comes onto TikTok. He's Tony_talks on TikTok, and he's talking about having brushed up against this Trump presser.
What's up, y'all? So I said, let me just get on here real quick because I want to tell you about something. I watched this press conference that Donald Trump did today, and I deliberately stayed for the entire thing. I said, let me listen to the whole thing. And I got to tell you, in my opinion, I thought it was actually a very good press conference for him. And it was contrary to what the presentation is that we typically see of a Donald Trump presser or rally. Like, he was like, I'd say like 90% of it was just like really on point. Like, I don't agree with everything the man says at all. But I can say that he spoke directly to the issues, especially the issues that I care about as not only a black man, but just as a person living in America in this horrible economy, the horrible state that we are in right now. And, you know, it was kind of different because it was like he was very like welcoming. He was reserved. He was He dealt directly with the questions that were asked of him.
He just basically said he was a normal, respectful human being. Surprising. And he says he goes into this press conference because he just kind of want to check it out, see what's going on.
This really makes you hope that Trump keeps doing press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
And he was even like welcoming to the press. And so I was like, damn. When he was done, I remember saying to myself, I wonder how the media is going to paint this presser.
So that's the most dangerous question that can happen this election season, is where people start taking the time to look into things themselves so that they can then learn more about the candidate. And then if they are confronted with a conflict, especially one that insinuates that if you don't come to the conclusion that some agenda-driven media outlet comes to, they are then going to insult you. This is a black guy talking here, and he identifies himself as such. But how many times is he going to hear people talked about as like black votes? Because what I keep hearing is suburban women votes. And I'm like, I don't think I fit the monolith that they're trying to explain. Like, this is what you need to get to the suburban moms, those overly emotional Karens, basically is what they're saying. And I am overly emotional, but I am not. I'm Annie. I'll just put it to you that way. Maybe we'll change what we call the very, very unfortunately incorrectly named Karens, because I know many lovely, lovely Karens out there.
And like clockwork, immediately, like the blog sites, like Baller Alert, World Star, The Shade Room, and all of like legacy media, they started putting out the hit pieces, boy. They started painting the rally as it's some hate-filled, incoherent psychobabble. And, if you're a person that cares anything about objectivity and just critical thinking, I think we should all be able to agree that we have to dig deeper for ourselves and do our own research in order to find out exactly what's going on. Because as it is right now, we can't trust the media, and we're being spoon-fed our opinions, not only by legacy media, but sadly by the professional managerial class. We have a lot of popular black folks out there who are getting on social media and on the news media, and they're trying to shame you into falling in line. And that's not something I agree with. Now, you can vote for whoever you want to vote for, Democrat, Republican. At the end of the day, I understand that as black people, we're not a monolith. And I would never judge anyone or shame them for what they decide to do with their vote. But before you make these decisions on these candidates, you have a responsibility to dig deeper and find out all you need to know about their policy. Don't allow people to trigger you using emotion. Pull emotion out of this. Look at policy. Look at your life. Then decide, are you okay with your life this way? Do you want to continue with your life that way? Look at the policies that they're presenting to you. Hey, does that policy align with the way that I think, with my belief? And it's actually that simple. But don't allow people to interrupt your own natural thought processes by trying to gaslight you and trying to shame you and insult you and make you feel like lesser than for daring to decide for yourself.
That guy, Tony_talks on TikTok, if you want to go check him out, that's what the video says here that I'm sharing, is asking a very, very aggressively dramatic question. And that is, are you checking these things out for yourselves? And if you have a thought process that leads you astray from what people out there, he called it the professional managerial class and big media, what they're trying to make you think, if you start to do your own little research and find stuff out for yourself, trust yourself when you do that. It's incredible to me to see him. And he says multiple times, I don't care who you vote for. Just make sure you are voting for that person because you've come to that conclusion. Here's where we come to the YouTube live chat poll, which we are going to take your calls on when we come back. 314-241-9797. Do you know, or do you yourself suffer from TDS? Do you know anybody, or do you yourself suffer from TDS? Now, that's Trump derangement syndrome. That's the people who see Donald Trump. How would you explain? Is there somebody off the top of your head that you feel like suffers greatly from TDS.
Yes.
The entire panel on The View.
I was going to say Keith Olbermann.
That was mine.
Keith Olbermann. Yeah, like these people hear something about Donald Trump, and I mean, he could be saving orphans from traffic in a busy highway, and they would find out why it was bad or something was wrong with it. Do you know anybody who's like that? Maybe you suffer from it yourself. Maybe you don't know anybody. We want to hear from you. Because the worst thing that can happen to the Kamala Harris, Tim Walz ticket is that all of this bologna sausage that she's shoveling out there for you to believe about her while she's reintroducing herself, once you start comparing notes on what that actually, what she said before, once you start comparing those notes and you realize it's one or the other, you don't get to be both things, and then you compare notes with what Donald Trump is doing and saying with your own research, you are going to be pretty shocked and surprised. It's going to bring people out of that TDS if they so choose to do that. You give us a call at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, and let us know what you think about TDS. Do you suffer from it? Do you know somebody? We want to hear from you when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
When you shop at the Diamond Shop in August, you are going to be set up to save. It's always a great opportunity to go and see what they have in stock and in store. And right now in August, they are celebrating back to school with 30% off all in-stock jewelry throughout the entire month of August. If you are walking in for the very first time into the Clayton store at the Diamond Shop, you're going to probably meet Nikki. You're probably going to meet Tom and Mona, I hope, because they're wonderful people. Tom makes the most gorgeous custom jewelry. I have a custom necklace that I love to wear. It is a cross that was designed for me with my husband and Tom together. They came up with this idea, and I cherish it so much. It's a beautiful necklace. They can do the same thing for you. There are people who come in with heirloom jewelry and want to repurpose it into a pendant or maybe into a ring or a set of earrings or something. They can help you with that. But they're also always offering you a great opportunity to save. You can save an extra 10% on with a VIP status by going to thediamondshop.net. Sign up there and you get to save on most things there at the Diamond Shop. You can also learn about all of the sales and specials they have going right now. Online at thediamondshop.net.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2024 with the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, The Association, Badfinger, The Vogues, and the Cowsills. Tonight, the Family Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Get ready for the all-new Athleta Presents Gold Over America Tour. Join Simone Biles and America's best gymnasts for a night of action-packed gymnastics. October 15th at the Family Arena. Fun for the whole family. You and your kids will love this high-energy spectacle. Music, lights, breathtaking flips, and Gold Squad dancers. Let's GOAT! October 15th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at goldoveramericaTour.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Freedom of thought. Freedom of speech. It's defended here on your home for conservative talk and conservative values. 97.1 FM Talk.
Fresh paint on the fence.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Have someone playing on a Friday at the bar we know too well. We'll just order the usual, so it's still an easy sell that it all looks perfect. Then we go home. Favorite
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. We appreciate you. It's Friday. We're very excited about that. We're going to open the phones now. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. The poll question for today that we want to give you the opportunity to answer with us here on the air. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? That's Trump Derangement Syndrome. We want to know if you've experienced it, but also, like, how do you handle it? Do you feel, Ryan, like you know anybody personally off the top of your head that really has a Trump problem?
It's more friends from my past who I'm still friends with on Facebook. It's not people that I'm actively engaged with on a daily basis.
And you keep those people in your life via the Facebook feed?
I do. Yeah.
Because you want to watch them have TDS?
I just don't want to cut them off, and I also am okay with them being crazy every now and then, just see what it's like.
Do you talk to them, or you just kind of voyeuristically watch them have a few breakdowns?
I'm not watching their feeds so much as if I post something that has any sort of vague conservatism to it. It's like, wah!
They come after you?
They come after, yeah.
Oh, man. That's rough. What about you, Brad? Do you?
Yeah, I got two people that are in my life that I would consider having TDS.
Do you engage them? Do you disengage them?
I engage them. I talk to them when I see them. I see them in person all the time. They were my friends before. They're going to continue to be my friends as long as they
Sounds
will
like a threat.
Yeah, you will continue to be my friend as long as they see fit. I mean, I'm not going to let Donald Trump ruin a friendship, and especially like if I'm like okay with the guy and that would be them ending the friendship. I'm not going to end it because they don't like Donald Trump.
Well, 314-32 or there goes the Stewie number. 314-241.
You can call Stewie too if you want to.
I say his number way more than the station number.
Yeah.
I don't know he's opened the phone lines. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Let's get to some of your phone calls if you have had to deal with this before. Linda, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. What do you think?
Hey, Annie, perhaps you can tell me, you can confirm my diagnosis.
Uh-oh.
Now, mine is not based on irrational fears or left or right-wing media. Mine is based on facts. And the fact is that Trump is an admitted sexual predator, an adjudicated rapist, a pathological liar, an insurrectionist, and a convicted felon. So if I have done that research and all of those things are indisputable facts, does that mean I have Trump derangement syndrome?
Oh, Linda, I hate to break this to you. I think we can diagnose you with TDS. But since you asked, he's not an insurrectionist. He's never been charged with it. I'm just picking one out of your list, but that's actually not a fact.
Yeah, you did pick one because you didn't pick. You can grab them by the PUSSY.
Hey.
Oh,
If you no, listen. I don't make the rules. The FCC does. So if you want to hang out, happy to have you. But
you didn't pick that one. You didn't pick
Linda.
Listen. Okay, listen all you want to. You listen.
No. Okay, we can do this. I'll just handle this the way they handled Joe Biden. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. I picked one specifically because you made a long list of things, Linda, that you are accusing him of, and then at the end you said that it's factually true and there's no disputing it. And the truth is, I'm just picking one to make the point that your entire statement isn't accurate because he has never, you can be charged with insurrection. He has never been charged with insurrection. So therefore, he is not an insurrectionist. Correct?
So we shouldn't believe our lying eyes?
No,
I'm saying we shouldn't believe our lying eyes and ears.
I don't believe that Donald Trump is an insurrectionist, and neither does the legal system.
Okay, well, then we'll differ on that one. What about he's a pathological liar?
I don't think he's a pathological liar. I think you don't like what he says, and I don't think you like the way he says it. And I think that his policies, you probably think that policies for this country would be much better done the Kamala Harris's way. And I respect that
No, I think that the policies for this country would be much better done not by an adjudicated rapist and
he's not an adjudicated rapist. He's never been convicted of rape. He's never been convicted of rape. Linda,
that's the lady before.
Linda, you have lied on this show more than Donald Trump has lied on this show.
Girl, get out of here. Shut up.
Go on. Oh, she hung up on me. I didn't have to hang up on her. What? You want to? She can call back. There's more time. I have till 3.
I don't think she's going to call back.
Oh, man, we were having so much fun.
Yeah, well, that's the trouble is that a lot of these things, I'm glad she called.
Me too.
Because
Because she answered the question.
I mean, really, let's just go to break. Because
break.
That's it.
I'm going to Holiday Shores and having a drink. I'm done here.
Because that's so much of but this has been verified. You can't question it. This is true that he is a fill in the blank.
Is Will our guy?
Yeah, he's my guy.
But is he our guy?
No.
Okay. Will says it's not very classy to call your callers liars, Annie. That was right. I handled that poorly.
Yeah, you're very mean.
Yeah.
But all of those things that she's saying, many of them are verifiably false. But if you've been told enough that they're not, then you think you have facts on your side, and that's it. And there is no arguing with it.
Even if the facts don't matter. Here's the $1 bazillion question. Percentage chance that Linda is listening still right now.
Oh, 100.
Hi, Linda. All right, next call. 314-241-9797. Let's get to Rich. Rich, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. The poll question is, do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? We don't need to answer the Linda question anymore. What about you? What do you think?
You mean I have to follow that?
I don't think you could mess it up, Rich. I think you'll be fine.
It embarrassed me.
I don't think she felt embarrassment. She'll call back again.
Anyway, the reason I'm calling about that is because a lot of my relatives on both sides of the family live in rural areas in southern Missouri. And going back to the 2016 election, whenever I was voting for Trump, I had a bumper sticker on the back of my tailgate on my Ford pickup. And I'm down there during deer season, and all of them are getting on my butt saying, "You're voting for that guy?"
Yeah.
And I told them, honestly, I was 63 years old at the time. I can vote for whoever I want. And, they're so sold on friggin' Clinton. And I thought, I basically used the B word and called her a B word. And it's hard to convince them that it is the right decision. And so I would say that 95% of my relatives are that way.
Yeah. Has that changed at all in the amount of time, the elections that we've gone through? Has it gotten better or worse, or is it pretty much the same?
It's pretty much the same.
Mm.
Even with the economy, I don't see as many of them as I used to because I don't want to be around them because it's just too negative.
Mm. Yeah, I understand.
And that's an unfortunate thing. You're not supposed to bring family involved with politics. But whenever you're listening to this crap for the last 4 years, what are you supposed to believe when you're believing that, like you were just talking about?
Yeah.
The everything that's on TV, they're watching all CNN and CNBC and all that stuff, and never turn on Fox News so you don't get an alternative.
Sure. Well, Rich, thank you for calling the show. Thanks for listening to us. We appreciate you.
And I've also told them to dial in your radio station and listen to you.
Well, thank you. And they said what? That's not Linda. She's not your cousin.
Well,
she called in and she's like, these people are crazy.
They haven't texted me and said, it's a good show or anything. So I really don't know, but I've listened to you for 4 years or more, and I enjoy it every day.
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Glad your headache's over. My daughter gets them, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're the worst. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it. It's over. Unless I bend over, then I can still kind of feel where the headache is. So I just don't do that. Let's get to some more phone calls here. 314-241-9797. I'm going to get to as many as I possibly can. Next one up is this Caleb? Caleb, thanks for calling the show. What do you think?
Hey, Amy. I want to talk about cognitive dissonance.
Yeah?
It's the belief, the inability to change someone's belief, regardless of facts and anything else like that. And I think that's the crux of the TDS. And in my experience, when I come across somebody that has that sort of thinking, it's better just to avoid the conversation. There's nothing you can really do to prove it. They have to kind of find it on their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think it's worth engaging in the conversation if you know someone to be like this? Is it worth it to try, or if they engage you, should you immediately disengage? What do you think?
Well, it depends on your relationship with the person that you're interacting with. I think the deeper down the rabbit hole you go, the further the divide is, the more evidence you present to each other.
Yeah. Thanks for calling the show.
It's a double-edged sword.
I appreciate you for listening. Thank you.
Yep.
Take care. Bye-bye. Let's get to Michael real quick. Michael, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Don't have a lot of time, but we wanted to get you in here. How you doing? What do you think?
I am doing great, Annie. TDS is kind of like COVID. It actually started out with a variant called Orange Man Syndrome, OMS. And my ex-wife had it, but I found a cure, and I had Obamacare take care of it. I just took 2 children's aspirin and a yogurt enema, and I just flushed that crap out.
I don't know.
Was that written?
Michael's trying to upstage Linda. We need to get Michael and Linda together, and apparently they can work it out.
Share an Uber.
Oh, man. Maybe that would be the Uber that you would be driving. Rhonda, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. TDS, do you have it? Do you know someone who has it?
My best friend, I was from kindergarten on, and I'm in my 50s. During the 2016 election, she told me that I was wrong, I was stupid, she couldn't believe how much I had changed, and she wanted to meet up, she wanted to beat me up. So
what?
It's really sad, it's unfortunate, and so I learned, like I think your previous caller said, based on who it is, whether or not you have the conversation with them.
Did that start for you in 2016 with her, or had it been building up to then?
Started. She was riding for Biden or whatever, riding with Biden, I think is what they said. And I stated my position, and she came on my page to correct me, and then just it went from there. And it's really sad.
That is sad. I'm sorry that happened to you.
But I know it's all too real.
Yeah, that is real. There are so many people, thank you, Rhonda, for the call. There are so many people who have lost close relationships because of this. She's just physically going to meet her up.
It's so sad. And the problem with it, and the reason it destroys relationships, is that if you see everything through the lens of not just politics, but through the lens of what Donald Trump says and does as being right and wrong, then you really do kind of view the entire world that way, and your friendships are sacrificed over it.
Stephen, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS?
Yes, I have several people on my Facebook page that definitely suffer from it. First of all, I just want to say that my kids, when I listen to 97.1 Talk FM, my kids say, "Oh, that's such boring radio." But that little dispute you had just a couple of calls again just completely proved that talk radio is entertaining.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did not, there was a time in talk radio, it's before my time, where you might plant a call. And there are people who have listened to talk radio for a long time who don't believe that Linda was a real caller. She's real to me. If she's here making that phone call from some other office, that was something else. You couldn't ask for an example of TDS better than Linda, who is, I guarantee you, still listening right now.
Oh man, it's funny. It's like those people who watch Fox News or comment on the Instagram post or the Facebook post of Fox News or whatever, and I'm like, if you don't like this, why are you following it? I do not follow. I don't follow anybody. I don't like their junk. I'm not sitting waiting to just dismantle anything they post or anything like that. But my post was this, or my original comment was this. So I have a good friend, grew up with her several years ago. We grew up together, and I posted a meme about Joe Biden way before he was even cut out of office, by his running mate. And so I posted a picture of him on 4th of July. It was Independence Day. And he was saying, "Happy Easter." I'm sure you've seen that meme go around Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Was the Easter bunny there?
Yeah. So he had the bunny ears on, and he's like, "Happy Easter." And it was,
yeah,
funny meme. I didn't mean anything, personal attack. And she comes on, and so I'm a pastor. And she comes on and she says, "This is the reason pastors aren't respected in our society." Oh my goodness. I was like, I laughed. First of all, I just laughed hysterically. And then I was like, well, that's a quick unfriend. We're not that good of friends where I can't unfriend you. But My thought was this. Okay, this is just this is just the way that I live, and nobody else has to live this way.
Right.
But I have several friends that are very left that I've grown up with, that are family members. I make it a personal point not to comment on any of their posts. They'll post something, and I'll laugh at it. I won't even make the laugh emoji with the like button or whatever, but I just laugh of it from a distance. Like, I'm not going to go on and disrespect you. That's fine. You have your viewpoint. It's America. But however, they are quick to get on any of my posts of a conservative post, and I don't even post that much, but it's quick for them to just get on anything I post about Trump or an article of Trump, and it just amazes me how deranged they are and how mad just a picture of Trump will make them.
Well, Stephen, the reason why that's the way these things generally get handled is because when you post something like that and they come on and make you wish that you never did it, regret the post, they're making a ton of other people who might like to make a statement go, I am never going to say anything positive about Trump. I mean, you can't buy that kind of media coverage deficit because people are too afraid to put something out there about Donald Trump or a joke or whatever. And then, you know, the rules don't apply the same to both sides, for sure. And there is a righteous indignation that comes when somebody comes to correct you publicly. They see it as a public service that they're doing to everyone else, that they're getting you back in line. And that's where I feel like we just have to say, you know, you can think you're getting me back in line by coming in. I'm just drawing different lines. I don't live that way. I'm going to say what I say, and I'm sorry that it upsets you. That's not the intention, but here I am.
And the funny thing is, the lady that made the comment, she was raised conservative. She was always a Republican. She divorced her husband and married a new guy who was a Democrat. And quickly, her political views changed just by her relationship. And my wife made the comment one too because we were talking about it and discussing it. And she goes, "Well, love is blind." So,
thank you for the call, Stephen. I appreciate you listening. Gosh, we still got a full board of phones again. This is your time, Ryan.
Well, then I am going to take it. Be or not the bee is coming up next. No, I'm just kidding. Let's do the calls because this is fun.
All right. Well, we'll get to the rest of the TDS calls when we come back. Jacob, David, Dan, Alan, Elaine, in no particular order when we come back. Thank you for calling in. The YouTube live chat poll, we need you to come on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and vote. And today, we're going to play some of your, from what I understand, vocal responses to the poll at 2:45.
Yeah, the way that you do that is you're listening to the Odyssey app. You click on 97.1, make sure you listen to us. Then you hit the microphone. You can record whatever you want and send it to us, and we'll try to give it a listen. And if we like some, we'll play as many as we can.
This song you're listening to is called Happy Enough. It's by Rachel Schumacher. She is from the St. Louis area, and she just released this song today. So check it out. We'll take more of your calls when we come back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Fry Show.
Cassens & Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. This is where I've purchased my most recent vehicles, including a Jeep. You can go to cassenscan.com. That's cassenscan.com. If you are in the market for a vehicle, trust me when I say you'll be in great hands at Cassens. 618-800-2712. Give them a call if you are interested in right now. They have 0% available on most new Jeeps. Pretty sure it's just this month. So you're going to want to make this phone call quickly to at least get the conversation started so you can understand how to get a great, great deal on a new Jeep. 618-800-2712. 618-800-2712. They have a wonderful sales staff there that does not turn over. You are going to see people, if you've bought a vehicle from them in the past, I don't know, decades, you're going to go back and see faces that you recognize that are familiar to you because they've been there selling vehicles to homes alike, to generational families alike, to my family alike, and you could be next. 0% available on most new Jeeps. Call to talk to them about this amazing opportunity right now. 618-800-2712. 618-800-2712. cassenscan.com.
Nutrition is to our health, and now is the time to do something about it. With Neovitin Women's Multivitamin, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Created by a St. Louis physician, Neovitin Women's Multivitamin is formulated with our proprietary blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Best of all, you can get Neovitin Women's Multivitamin delivered right to your door with our convenient monthly subscription. Go to neovitin.com and sign up for a subscription today.
At Hampton Manor of Wentzville, they go the extra step to make sure their residents feel special. Mark Cox here from my friends at Hampton Manor. I recently stopped by there. You know, their veterans are celebrated with special recognitions, including special pastries created by their pastry chef. They have their own private chef. They'll even feed you lunch if you stop by for a visit at this great senior living community off the Lake St. Louis exit at Highway 70. Schedule your appointment today at wentzvilleassistedliving.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
We are taking your calls on this topic. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? So even if you don't want to call, you can vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. That is the subject.
I don't want everybody to vote they know somebody because they think they know Linda now. Hi, Linda.
No, you don't know her.
She's
you just
still
heard. That's like saying that you know somebody, like you saying you know Sean Hannity because you heard him on the radio. That doesn't count.
Linda and Sean Hannity.
So let us know in the poll. You get there by going to YouTube, type in Annie Fry, and the YouTube live chat poll will come up with the stream. 12:49. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
We know you've got an interesting take on things. You can tell us by clicking the microphone button next to Listen Live when you're on the Odyssey app. Record a short message for us to hear when you tune into 97.1 on the Odyssey app.
Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
In a completely unrelated song. Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I've been taking your phone calls. We still got a full board here. I have 7 minutes tops, Brad. Is that right? 7 minutes to get through these phone calls, and I've got a full board of phones. So I need you to make your point quickly so that we can get through as many as we can. I'm not trying to be rude and cut anybody off. The poll question today that you can vote on YouTube is, do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? Yes, you suffer from TDS. Yes, you know people, or no, you don't know anyone. So I'm going to get through your phone calls here, make a point, and I'm going to move on. And I appreciate everybody who's calling in. Let's start here with David. David, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What do you think, TDS?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. My aunt used to tell me all the time that she just really hates Donald Trump. She says, I just hate that man. And it was just about personality and emotion. So I wrote down Hannity's enormous list of Trump's accomplishments and laid it in front of her. I was like, he did this, he did this,
Yeah.
he did this, he did this. She's like, I had no idea. I didn't know any of that.
She opened her eyes?
Yeah, not right now. She's one of his biggest supporters that I know.
Oh, man.
That is not where I expected that to
Somebody
go.
get David some funding. Let's go.
Send him to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. What are
Yeah,
you doing
I'll
in
go.
Missouri? Go. We need you. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Get that list out. Don't tell Sean Hannity you plagiarized it from him. He'd be so happy.
Well, I
Thank
didn't
you.
make any money off of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You might actually make us all a lot of money off of it if Donald Trump gets elected, so we appreciate you. Thank you for listening, David.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let's get to Alan. Alan, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What do you think?
Yeah, my wife's got TDS in a bad way, man.
Uh-oh. How's that go? How are you handling? Are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a very big Trump supporter. She can't stand the guy, Orange Man bad, the whole thing.
Do you talk about it?
Very little.
Wow.
But any bad press that comes out about him, it doesn't matter how outrageous and wrong it is. she immediately believes it and uses that as a point to confirm why she can't stand Donald Trump. And I've tried to insert facts and details, and she accuses me of arguing with facts and details. So
I'm sorry. I hope that your marriage isn't bothered by this, because that is way more important than politics. But that's got to be kind of hard to maneuver.
Yeah, we've been married a long time. Our kids are out of the house, so we just don't talk about it. I mean, the news comes on and we change the channel because she can't stand if any political ads come on, pro Trump, and she gets mad. Last Christmas, my sister got my mom a pair of slippers from the My Pillow guy. She was mad. She was mad that the My Pillow guy was supported by somebody in my family.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Was Trump the defining factor when you got married? Were you kind of left and right, separate parties anyway, and Donald Trump just blew it open, or was it just Donald Trump?
We never even discussed politics up until probably the early 2000s, and I knew she was left wing. I didn't realize how far, and I'm pretty far right, so I admit that openly, but. Yeah, she's out there.
Alan,
I love her, but I love her.
Amen to that. Alan, thank you for calling the show and hanging there, and I hope it continues to be something you guys are able to easily work out. Appreciate you for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. It's just like a bunch of people thinking, like, I cannot wait to send my pillow stuff to people.
Mad respect, though. Mad respect to that guy.
That's tough.
That's really cool that he's doing that. And she is, too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah.
Priorities here. Elaine, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS?
Yes, my brother has TDS. I think it's terminal in him, too.
How does it manifest? How do you know?
Well, we don't, thank goodness, we don't fight in person. We go back and forth on Facebook. He'll comment on a post, and he
like
lists,
in public?
it's always
not in private messages?
I'm in public, yeah,
okay.
yeah. But then other people get involved and it gets ugly. But my brother and I, he lists the same stuff all the time. Well, Trump plays golf on Sundays. He didn't go to church. I'm like, well, Bob, you don't go to church. And then he's like, well, Trump.
Bob.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's like, well, Trump has been divorced, twice. I'm like, I know people that have been married 3 or 4 times, or like, Liz Taylor was divorced, 8 times, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it's always, he brings up his bankruptcies. I'm like, well, you had a bankruptcy. And then he'll bring up, well, he has failed businesses. And I'm like, you did too. And
all of those things to say, what I hear you saying, Elaine, is that those things that are less than, desirable things are not disqualifying for someone to still be a worthwhile human being, that there are still things that are much more important and bigger than those things that are, you don't celebrate Trump because he went bankruptcy, and filed for bankruptcy. You celebrate him for other good things that have to do with his representation in government for you, better than the alternative, which is Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, or Kamala Harris.
Yeah. He will never get on and say anything good about the Democrats. He just has to trash Trump. And I honestly don't know why he trashes Trump. We've never got into that. Yeah. One of these days I'm going to get the nerve to say something. But like I said, we don't discuss this in person. So
do it out of love. If you do it,
I know.
Prioritize loving your brother over all of this stuff.
Because I do. Good. I do. I love my brother. Good. So I do. All right. Well, thanks for taking my call.
All right. Bye.
Hey, you know what, though? Maybe Bob is trashing Trump
on
because
NPR
he's really
right now?
trashing himself.
Do you think that Bob is over calling NPR right now and being like, my sister Elaine?
I hope so. I really do.
Compare those notes. I only got a minute left here, Jacob. If you could roll your window up or take us off speakerphone. Thanks for calling the show. What do you think about TDS?
Well, give me a second to get this off there, but TDS, I work with a lot of people at downtown St. Louis.
Yeah.
I really do. And
compare those notes. I only got a minute left here, Jacob.
Oh, there we are. Yeah.
Here I am.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I work with a lot of people downtown St. Louis. They have such Trump derangement system. I didn't know how many did until after the assassination attempt that everybody said they missed, and I'm like, what? Then I found out about the assassination. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
But yeah, they go to as far as pulling the bumper stickers off my car. They also they left the delete Hillary sticker for some reason. I guess just to get her name out there. I don't know.
That is strange. I think, thank you for the call, Jacob. I appreciate it. I wasn't here when the assassination attempt happened. That was obviously on the weekend, and then I was on vacation. It was very poorly timed for my news coverage. But there were a lot of people who really detest Trump who wouldn't cross that bridge.
Mm-hmm. And for about a day, the politics said, you know what? We've gone a bridge too far. And then the next day it was like, well, let's just go back.
Yeah. And I mean, further though, the where we went back to the TDS after the fact was worse than where it was beforehand. And you got to think to yourself that Donald Trump is a human being. He is a man who almost lost his life. I mean, we're talking less than an inch of being murdered for who he is, because this is a climate that is created where something like that would be of note for a crazed person like this Crooks guy. And it's just, you'd think that would be the one thing we'd all come together and say, oh my gosh, that is terrible. That's just absolutely horrible. And it just isn't. That's where we are. You want to talk about TDS existing? That's the proof that you need that it does.
Yeah, and if somebody was saying, oh, shoot, they missed him, that person has got Trump derangement syndrome, because that's just sick.
It's even beyond that. All right, well, if you missed Linda's call, you need to go back and check the beginning. It was probably about 12:25. We asked if TDS essentially existed, and then Linda came in to give us the most perfect chef's kiss version of what TDS looks like. But I am glad that she's a listener to the show. I'm glad she's still here listening with us, and that she will be with us for the rest of the day to hear if we mention Linda's name again. And we will, but you'll have to wait and see how long. We'll be right back.
Chug-a-lug, 4-H.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Under Law Injury Lawyers GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A plan to fight inflation. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's part of the economic agenda Vice President Kamala Harris is about to lay out in North Carolina.
This will be Vice President Harris's first major policy speech happening in a state that Joe Biden lost, but Democrats hope to flip this cycle by targeting corporate greed and price gouging to assuage Americans' top concern, inflation and high prices.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich in Raleigh. The plan would expand federal authority to regulate grocery prices. Former President Trump likens that to communist price controls and calls it an admission that Biden-Harris policies have failed. President Biden says he's optimistic after 2 days of Gaza ceasefire talks by mediators from the U.S., Egypt, and Qatar. He also says he doesn't want to jinx it.
Speaking to reporters in the Oval Office, President Joe Biden said the talks and an agreement to continue negotiations next week mean, quote, we're closer than we've ever been.
We may have something, but we're not there yet. But it's much, much closer than it was 3 days ago.
The U.S., Egypt, and Qatar spent the last 2 days working on the deal. Israel says it appreciates the efforts of the mediators to dissuade Hamas from its refusal for a hostage release deal, while a Hamas senior official told Reuters that the U.S. has no real intention of stopping the war in Gaza.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The mediators say both sides were given a proposal aimed at bridging remaining gaps. The president just signing a proclamation for a new national monument in Illinois commemorating the deadly Springfield race riot.
So our children, our grandchildren, everybody understands what happened and what can still happen.
Dozens of people were killed in August of 1908 after a white mob attacked a black community only blocks from President Lincoln's home. The riots spurring action on civil rights, including creation of what's now the NAACP. America is listening to Fox News.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure of 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes. Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Improving weather as we go through our weekend. Partly sunny skies, though. Still kind of hot and humid going through the afternoon. We'll keep an eye out for a spot thunderstorm, 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, 70. The weekend, sunny skies. Good temperatures, good humidity levels, 86 on Saturday. Saturday night, clear skies, 68. Sunday, sunny and comfortable, 86. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloor.com. Go visit them this weekend in one of their 3 different locations across St. Louis. If you're shopping for flooring, you want to make sure that you invest in quality flooring that isn't going to break the bank. And Michael's Flooring Outlet, that's where you go. They have on their website at igotfloor.com a big red balloon there that says on sale now. You can check igotfloor.com for ways to save money on quality flooring, but you can also go visit them in their shops. They have 3 of them across St. Louis. You can visit them in Darden Prairie. You can also go to West County. They're located on Olive Boulevard there, just 1 mile off of 270 West on Olive, and they're also in St. Charles County on Main Street in Old Town St. Peter's at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70. If you're looking for carpet, tile, luxury vinyl plank, anything in between, if you're looking for your residence, for your place of business, for your church, go to Michael's Flooring Outlet and trust them to give you the names and brands that you count on. All online at igotfloor.com.
Attention Missouri Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care with help preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly after every shift. It's all funded by Medicaid and 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 5,000 5-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. This service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers are paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy 1 house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
If you need someone you can trust for your eye care, go see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Kim St. Ange here. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, Royer, and Barry are experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
The Focus Marines Foundation is here to help veterans transition from service to civilian life, and we're here to support them. This is Mark Cox inviting you to get involved in this month's Conservatives Care effort by visiting 971talk.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We spent the first hour, would you say, pretty much talking about TDS. Definitely the second two segments.
Yeah, for sure.
We bumped Wiggins America and the Be or Not the Be 2 in just a minute here because we had a ton of phone calls. We wanted to get through all of them. The YouTube poll for today, if you go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, you can vote, do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? Brad, you said you do know someone. Ryan, you said you do know someone?
Loosely, not close, but yes.
Not personally, but you do know
I
people?
actually would probably vote no in this poll because it's not somebody that close.
Not personal enough.
Yeah.
I definitely do. And some of these people have it real bad, and they're like some of my closest friends. And they are usually ones, they are always the ones who bring it up to me. I'm never looking to kick dirt at this condition that people have, mostly because I don't know that it's curable.
That's 100% true, and I need to clarify, I have had people very close to me who've had, it wouldn't be Trump derangement syndrome, though, because it was pre-Trump, but it was the same type of thing. I had a roommate once who was so consumed by politics that you'd walk in the door and he'd just start nailing you with news and things, and you're like, man, I don't want to talk about this 100% of the time.
Yeah. I just don't think that people who are experiencing this right now, honestly, I think the only way that you could potentially ever be so lucky to persuade them to consider something different is to not badger them.
I agree.
Is to be willing to be around them. Like, why are you willing to be around me when I am so disgusted by this person who exists that you seem to like? Like, why would you even want to be associated with me? And the answer is because I like you as a human more than I like a politician.
Yeah.
Simple. And, it doesn't have to be the full defining thing. Now, for the other person, it does have to be the full defining thing, and you get cut off because of that. That's a them choice that I will learn to be just fine with. But I'm going to be there if they decide if they decided to change their mind on the issue. I would absolutely welcome that relationship back. And I don't need you to sign a contract that says you're going to like or vote for Trump. Just that it should not be that consuming.
I think there are two types of people who have something like TDS, and this is anybody who is that consumed by politics. But Donald Trump really does it to people. One is that it's just their entire worldview is wrapped up, and he destroys it. Donald Trump comes in and kind of takes a crowbar to their worldview. He's the orange
Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, he just threw the wall, and they can't handle it because he messes up the kind of fragile worldview that they have.
Yeah.
The other type of people are people who are clearly, and there may be crossover here, it's a Venn diagram. The other type of people are those who, they're clearly dealing with something else, but they're trying to throw all their problems into this one thing. And that can be Donald Trump. It can be other things too. But Donald Trump can be all-consuming in that sense where I got all these issues. If only he'd go away, all of them would be solved.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be very disappointing.
Yes,
when that is not the case. Are you ready for?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, let's do the B.
Wiggins. The B or not the B.
All right, a series of stories that are either the B, as in they're satire and they're fake, and you'll got to let me know, or they're real.
Okay.
The first headline is Kamala announces plan to hang joy sign above bread lines.
That's the B. The B, right?
It's the B. Kamala was unfortunately unavailable to give comment as she was needed for an urgent meeting in the White House basement. Most Americans have expressed their disapproval of the proposed policy, though. Quote, "That's nice, I guess," said Paul Jerry, an electrician. But what about fixing... Paul Jerry, 2 first names. But what about fixing inflation or taxes? And why do we need bread lines anyway? Wasn't that like a Soviet thing? That doesn't sound fun.
Oh, man.
Oh, nice clipped ending there. It was beautiful. Next one. Childless cat people congregate to sing hymns to Kamala Harris.
Tuffy. Real. Brad, are you going to play it today?
Yeah.
Brad,
I think it's the B.
Brad, you are incorrect. This is real. I'm going to need you to turn my sound up because I have the song that the childless cat people congregated to sing hymns to.
This isn't going to summon something, is it?
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll turn it off if it does.
If my head turns around, you'll know.
Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we're not going back.
Great harmony.
Voting for our sisters, we're not going back. Voting for our brothers, we're not going back. Just like a tree that's planted by the water.
Hold on a second. I think we've established something here.
Do tell.
They don't care about non-binary people.
Ooh, brothers and sisters? That is
So
exclusionary.
definitive. I mean, I know this because at Disney World, they stopped saying ladies and gentlemen because it was not inclusive enough. And I'm pretty sure that if you look at the left right now, the Kamala Harris people, they don't care about those people. They actually probably hate them.
Oh my gosh, it's very true. And that was supposed to be a hymn of love.
Their rules, not mine.
You know what I kept thinking as I listened and cut that sound?
I'd want to die.
Do people say that trees planted by the water, that's going back? Because what they keep saying is like a tree planted by the water, we're not going back.
Uh-huh.
That simile doesn't make any sense.
They probably also don't know that it's we shall not be moved. And I don't think that matters to them. Just like the non-binary people.
Okay, just making sure.
Mm-hmm. That's just what I'm gathering. That's just what they've said.
And
by not saying it.
And
Which
just
you know that you have to say it out loud so that everybody can seize your virtue.
So that you guys know, again, not the Babylon Bee. That was a real story.
Yeah. That wasn't Ryan dubbing over himself.
It was not. Over and over and over, which I can do, but it sounds more like Bohemian Rhapsody. Next one. Tim Walz tells of time he valiantly fought off Xenomorph Queen with nothing but a power loader exosuit. I know these are tough.
The bee?
It is the bee.
Okay, I was to say.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
In a convincing rebuttal to the widespread allegations of stolen valor plaguing his campaign, Tim Walz told reporters yesterday a harrowing story from his days in the armed forces. According to Walz, quote, "So I slipped into the loading bay and fired up a cargo loader. Real piece of work, those things. And the Queen started trying to get me. I didn't have anything, just a couple of forklift-style arms, you know what I mean? And then I opened the airlock and the Queen got sucked into outer space." Yeah, that was not a real story, just for clarity.
Yet.
Next one. Meet Brinley, the White House intern running the country today.
This is B, right?
No, I think this is real.
Ooh, so close, Annie.
Okay, well, there is like a 20-something who runs his Twitter account.
Yeah, I think that's
Rylan.
That's where the joke is.
Okay.
This is Brinley.
So, why is that less likely? You said then Rylan?
Yeah. This is spelled Brynleigh.
There could have been more Y's in there in unnecessary places.
Agreed. Meet Brinley. It's this plucky White House intern's turn to run the country. Join us as we take a look at her busy, exciting day. The bee goes through her itinerary and ends with Brinley rounds out her day with a cute little state dinner with the president of Japan and reports having a lot of fun signing a half-dozen executive orders.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Next one. Bee or not the bee? Mr. Bean takes a stand for free speech.
Real.
Yeah, I'm going to say real.
Mr. Bean. It is real. Rowan Atkinson, a.k.a. Mr. Bean,
Rowan, who
is
knew?
now out there roiling the UK's push for censorship by campaigning against this thing called Section 5, which we haven't talked about a lot because it's Great Britain. But here he is.
It's not so Great Britain right now.
It's not. It is, to be clear, too, Section 5 makes it an offense to use, quote, threatening, abusive, or insulting words or behavior or display any writing or sign within the hearing or sight of a person that is likely to be caused distress or alarm thereby.
It's now illegal to offend people.
It is, and that is very much
Prison.
in the eye of the beholder. I mean, you can offend anybody, and then Mr. Bean, Rowan
Imagine
Atkinson.
how much time we'd have to do.
Oh my gosh, we wouldn't
For
be
today.
Here. We'd be doing the show from prison if they'd let us. Here he is talking about it.
The clear problem with the outlawing of insult is that too many things can be interpreted as such. Merely stating an alternative point of view to the orthodoxy can be interpreted as insult.
It was really good points that he was making.
Man.
And he was very funny in doing it. That's what's odd. He gave like a 9-minute speech and he was using a lot of humor. And
Did he
he's
insult anybody?
I don't know that he did, but one of the things he said was, if you approach the Church of Scientology and tell them that they're wrong, they will be offended. Are you then going to jail? And then he brought up a real story that had happened in the Great Britain, in the UK, the Great Britain. So that was really cool. And this is going on this last couple weeks. So it's been kind of on Twitter a little bit if you've been following it, but it hasn't made our headlines as much. Next one, insane conspiracy theorist thinks Biden's still alive.
It's got to be the B.
It is the B. The wild viewpoint, which runs counter to all common sense and logic, caused the man's family and friends to fear for his mental state and notify community officials that someone was roaming freely around town holding the extreme position that Biden wasn't dead.
Oh.
Quote, the guy's totally out of his mind, said one concerned citizen. I really just like the story because it sounds like the whole town is concerned about this guy.
I have an idea. Do you think the Bidens are mad at the Democrat system right now?
Oh my gosh, yes.
More mad than they are anything else right now?
Yeah.
How do you think Jill feels right now?
Jill's beside herself.
And Hunter?
I have no idea.
I bet
think
Hunter's
that
scared.
He's got to be shaken a little bit.
And Jim?
Don't know Jim that well. I would think that he would want power, though.
He's the right-hand man in all the business dealings. Yeah. And Lord knows what Joe's done. Now, I think that the understanding is, what we keep hearing from people like Nancy Pelosi, is Joe Biden isn't himself. If Joe Biden is... Well, we're going to see Kamala Harris come out this next week with her platform. And her platform either has to be everything that they've been doing because she is currently in office, or there have to be some stark differences to persuade people to not vote for the Biden ticket. So she's either going to have to sink her ship by continuing to be on the SS Biden, or she's going to have to come up with her own, which is going to be a denouncing of things Biden. I don't think either one of these looks good for Biden. Joe Biden should stick it to the whole system and should make a deal with Trump to expose everything that the deep state has done in exchange for a full pardon and weed out the whole thing. I do not need to see Hunter Biden in jail. I do not need to see Joe Biden in jail. I do not need to see Jim Biden in jail. You can put Jill in jail. Just kidding. She's the worst, but you can't put her in jail for being the worst. I think that the thick, deep swamp runs right through the Biden family. They do know where all the bodies are buried. And I think that if you're Joe Biden and you're worried about Donald, someone said, why in the world would Joe Biden make a deal with Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump might become the president. Mm-hmm. And if you want to say, screw you, Kamala Harris and Obamas and Clintons and George Clooney and everybody else who got all hands in the middle, Nancy Pelosi, and decide to take this away from me, take it away from them and give the country back to the people. And then you will be a true patriot. Or don't, but I like my plan better.
I appoint you to be an arbitrator in that deal.
Thank you. I will be right back.
That'd be great.
I mean, is it going to happen? No. But if anybody had the motivation, especially if the end sum here, and we don't know this to be true, but if the end sum here is that Donald Trump becomes the president, Joe Biden's got to make some calculations and some moves.
Mm-hmm. If he did it, I mean, he won't do that, but if he would ever do that, it would be after November 5th. That would actually be a good move on his part if Donald Trump wins.
No, I think he needs to do it beforehand so that
To make
Donald
sure that
Trump
he
can
does
do
win.
what he needs to do to make sure that he could out the whole thing. Joe Biden doesn't owe these people anything. They've already taken everything that they can away from him, but he is still the president. I just think it's an interesting thing to think about.
Well, we want him to leave a great legacy, and that'd be a way to do it.
Oh, man. That'd be the most.
It'd be the first patriotic thing I've seen him really commit to.
It'd be really impressive.
You got one more that we have to do, or what do we do?
One more.
One more.
Last one. Engaged couple charges guests $333 to attend their wedding.
What? Charged $3,300?
$333 per guest to attend their wedding.
The engaged couple charged their guests?
Yes.
That's probably real.
Yeah, I feel like that's real.
This is a real story. The bride reasoned people choose to go to a Beyonce concert because they know that they're going to have an experience.
The number one way to find out if you're rational is be like, well, Beyonce does it. Why can't I? I mean, this is America.
She said, let's put that stress onto our guests, quote unquote. I mean, let's put that stress on our guests and let's sell tickets for our wedding. The groom didn't think it was as good of an idea.
What, the marriage?
He said, babe, people aren't going to come. People did come, but only 60 out of the 350 they had invited.
What's 60?
I guess the richest 60 came.
No friends. What did they get?
They got roughly $20,000 of the 70,000 that they recovered. What did the people get?
What do you get for your $333?
A double-decker party bus. And it drove around about 10 blocks in New York City.
Let's not miss that line. It's like people pay for the experience of Beyonce.
Do you know,
like my wedding is going to be like a Beyonce
when
concert.
you're going to a wedding and you find out that the wedding is at an American Legion or a VFW, I am like high fives all around.
Me too.
Let's go.
Yeah, I love it.
Never been charged $333 for one of those.
Sometimes I just go to the American Legion to attend weddings because I love it that much. Like, what's going on Friday night? I don't know. It looks like they're a wedding right there.
Crash them.
I guess you could call it that. It's fried chicken.
You can't eat
And
that
it's
fried
free.
chicken?
Yes, I
Do
can.
you bring a gift?
No.
Ryan!
My presence is the gift.
It's not what it doesn't mean what you think.
I
that
don't
means.
actually do any of this. I don't actually crash weddings at the American Legion.
Everyone listening right now is questioning whether you actually do. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. I wanted so bad to give you that phone number earlier, but I had to wait until now. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Rates are coming down. You might be thinking about a Bagel Loan refinance for that mortgage. And if you are, don't hesitate to reach out to Stewie to get that conversation started. He's going to help you time this in a way that's going to be very advantageous to you, to your economic situation that you're dealing with right now. If you got a mortgage in the last year or two and rates were super duper high, I know they're lower now. I saw a headline at least that said that they were lower now than they've been in a year. So save that money and lock yourself in a new rate with a Bagel Loan refinance, which you can only get with Stewie, and you pay nothing to go through that process. There's no closing costs. There aren't any fees, so you can secure that new low rate and save money every month on your mortgage bill. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Call my friend Stewie. Tell him Annie sent you. Google the Bagel Loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
When you face storms, if you have Rhino Shield, you don't much have to worry about the side of your house. Number one, it's waterproof. So whatever rain hits it is going to just bounce off. You don't have to worry about that. When we had that hail recently, the homes with vinyl siding got crushed. I mean, holes punched in the side of it. And the ones with Rhino Shield, it pretty much just bounced off. And my friend Darren has the pictures to prove that. So you've got a product that's 8 to 10 times thicker than regular paint. It hardens like a ceramic shield. It protects whatever's on the outside of your home. And you get a 25-year warranty. 25 years. You don't have to worry about going outside in the heat and scraping and painting or paying somebody else to do it every 4 or 5 years. You're fixed. You're covered. You get that warranty. You can transfer it to the next owner as well. Call Darren today. Let him give you a free evaluation on this beautiful product on your home. 877-25-RHINO or online at 877-25rhino.com.
Surprise!
Surprise!
You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. If you're not sure who to call for air conditioning services, contact the team at Air Comfort Service. With 55 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust them with the comfort of your home. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Friday afternoon, Brad Young fills in on a Reardon Roundtable. Former St. Louis County Police Chief Tim Fitch, State Rep Donna Behringer, and the former head of the NAACP in St. Louis County, John Gaskin, all on the panel. It starts at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
I find it interesting. Our YouTube poll for today, we're going to do Ask Us Anything here in a second. So if you have questions, come to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and comment your questions. The YouTube poll is, do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? And we're pushing 200 votes right now. 4% say, yes, I suffer from TDS.
Oh, okay.
So
thank you.
I wanted people to be able to come out here and be like, you're darn right, I've got Trump derangement syndrome. And we've had some people do that, which is exciting that you guys are out there listening to the show. I'm sorry if this is like a shock therapy for you. It's not really what we're trying to do, but
It's exposure therapy. Exposure? Exposure?
I don't know what you're into, Ryan.
I think I mixed up exposition and exposure, and it became explosion.
Exhibition? It's all starting to make sense to me.
Hey, at least if you're of that 4%, we laugh sometimes, don't we?
We love
We
you.
have a good time.
We're
right?
happy you're here.
Yeah.
Linda. All right, you ready to do it?
Yep.
Okay.
You have to ask me nicely. Don't make me beg here.
Ask me anything.
Tell me the truth!
You got a question? You want to go first?
Yes. If someone were to approach you and say, I want to make your book into a movie, what would you say?
I hate you. I hate you. You want me to tell the story, or is it just like an inside
I think
joke?
I would like to hear the story just for context.
Gosh, let me Google this real quick. Annie, F-E-R, author. I don't even know if it's real. I have somebody who wants to make my book into a movie, desperately.
Yeah. And you've been real resistant.
It's not my book. It's on here. It's called The Power of a Gypsy Love. That's the name of the book.
Is the author's name the same as yours?
F-E-R. Annie, F-E-R.
Annie Fur?
I don't know how she says it.
Fair. Okay.
The Power of a Gypsy Love, an endless search for a lost love. There are 2 ratings on it on Amazon right now. We should flood it with positive ratings. We should manifest this into being a movie.
Yeah, we should.
I'm pretty sure that the people who keep calling me to get permission to make this into a movie probably want an investment from me. I don't get I haven't like gotten into the long conversations, but I'm like, I've started to just tell them, no, I'm not interested in making it a movie.
See, usually when a phone call starts with, hey, is this Andy Fry? We want to make you a big star, big star. That usually means that they're going to pay you a lot of money. They're not looking for anything.
It would be better if they would say Andy Fry.
Ah, yes, it would be.
What they say is actually not my name.
How do they pronounce it?
It's
all written.
It's hard to say.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah.
Is this a twisted way of you trying to get us to talk about The Life of Human, your book, and making it into a movie?
God, I didn't even think about that.
Well, they called me and they first asked about your book, and I said he's totally not interested.
Oh, no, but that's a mistake because I am. If you are listening to this and you have money and want to make a movie, I am interested.
I can get you a movie deal if you're willing to make a few $40K maybe investment in making the movie happen. Then we can have that conversation.
Absolutely. I'll put $40K in it, all on the back end.
No, it's going to have to be in the front end because we need to know you're serious. We need your commitment.
I will think about it.
Okay.
But in the meantime,
I will not.
Let's start
You'll have to
principal
remind
photography.
Here, just smile like that.
Hey, look at that. You've
Shot
already
on
started the
iPhone.
investment.
You got a question?
Yeah. What is the most embarrassing thing that happened to you in high school?
We just did this.
No, that was middle school.
Do you have a
Oh my
separate
gosh,
story?
really? Wow. I just lumped them all together, I guess.
I thought yours was in high school.
So this is today middle school?
No. My first one was middle school.
Oh, mine was high school. I misunderstood the question.
Middle school.
So you have another one? Just get it off your chest, man. Just go.
Just get it off my chest.
Just go
Ryan,
ahead.
Brad, sit there for a second. Ryan, just for everyone to understand, we have never brought up or pressured Brad to tell any of these stories, correct?
I think that they've come up very organically and that we didn't know anything about any of them.
The last time it came up, and he told the toot story.
Yeah, toots.
That's how we talk about it in my house. The last time that came up, I had it like a Forbes article on things ER doctors don't want you to do with your kids.
Yeah.
And somehow that
Brad was like, oh, Forbes said that? Let me tell you about the time I fell down the stairs at a movie
I
theater.
just want people to know, like if Brad tells another embarrassing story, which might happen here shortly, that he does not have to do that.
No, you don't. But now that you've brought it up, you kind of do.
It's just exposure therapy or
Exposure
whatever.
therapy. Yeah. Thank you.
Feels a little more like exhibition.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, this one isn't quite as embarrassing as the toot story, but
Did you fart in this one?
No.
Okay. Can you during the story?
No. Gosh.
We'll see. But so the way my high school was set up, and it's Freeburg High School, it's kind of long and skinny, and the hallways, it's like one hallway that kind of snakes down the middle of the school, and then it's just branches off of it. And my freshman year, I would always try to go to my locker in between, I think it was second and third hour. And it was my second day of school, and I'm super nervous because I don't want to be late for class. This is high school. This is a big deal. And when I was a freshman, I was probably about your height, Ryan, so about 5'4", 5'5".
Oh, come on. No, I'm 5'9".
I was
and a half.
I was 5'7", actually. So I was short, but normal height for a freshman.
So there's a lot of 5'7" guys going, I'm not even short. Yeah. But okay, I'll listen to your story.
Yeah, well, I was shorter than what I am now.
Okay.
Is kind of my point. And so my head is down, and I'm walking, and I turn to go down, and it goes past the principal's office. And as I'm walking down this hallway, I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, and I just was looking down at my feet, and I just, bang, ran into somebody. And so I looked up, and about eye level was this person's chest. And so I started looking up some more, and still looking up some more, and still looking up. I walked face first into
Tyrus,
the tallest guy at the school. And for the life of me, I can't remember his name, but I just remember watching this guy dunk basketballs.
Yeah.
You know, he's like 6'7", 6'8", something like that. And he was a senior. I walked into it, and it wouldn't have been a big deal, but everybody that I rode the bus with, all the upperclassmen that I rode the bus with, they were sitting there, and then they all started laughing because I wasn't paying. And it wasn't like they were laughing at me, but they were just laughing at this situation where...
Aren't situations like that, though, completely whatever happens next is how comfortable you are with yourself at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that can be totally funny, and you can laugh with everyone, or you can quickly feel like you're being laughed at, and that can bury you. But, I mean, based on where you are in that particular point in life, you're really in charge of it way more than you ever at that age realized that you're in charge of it.
Right. And at that point in my life, I was not, like, able to laugh about it. So it was just kind of...
Not many are.
So it was just kind of like, oh, excuse me. And I walked around him. And so as I'm getting on the bus later on that day with this one girl, and one of our salespersons knows this one girl because they were best friends, just got on the bus still laughing from that event. But so that's probably my most embarrassing high school moment.
So you just ran into somebody?
Yeah.
In the hall?
Gigantic person.
Yeah.
The way you describe the scene sounds like it's just straight out of a tween TV show.
Yeah.
A lot of my embarrassing moments are kind of like that. I mean,
was the cutest boy in the school walking by too?
I don't know.
And you're wearing glasses.
Brad was the cutest boy in the school. Give him something.
Did you fart?
Stop it! Hello? Does it matter that there is a lady? It used to mean something that there was a lady in the room. What has happened?
We've told really good fart stories with you, though.
None of them have involved me being interested in the story being told.
But they're still really good stories. And you're a sucker for good radio. I know that. And man, a fart story can do it.
I literally got a handwritten note from someone asking us to stop talking about bodily functions.
Handwritten?
Handwritten.
Did they mail it?
Yes.
I got to respect that. And I'll just move past farts. I will from now on because you hand wrote it.
Did you have another really embarrassing story? I don't have things. If it's embarrassing to me, I have blocked it out. I had some like really mean girl stories happen to me, and I hesitate. I mean, these people in their adult life are perfectly fine people. And I know that there are times where I'm sure I was a mean girl to other people. So I hesitate to be too wrapped up in mean girl culture, other than to say it absolutely exists and I'm doing everything in my power not to raise mean girls. We all fail at everything. So I take that. I'm in no way, shape, or form perfect about it. But I remember being super self-conscious about everything, but I just don't know how many kids truly aren't. From pretty much junior high through maybe you start coming out of it junior year. You just gonna nod for the rest of the show?
Well, I have an embarrassing. It's not high school though. It was my first job, and I was a cameraman at a local TV station. And I was sent out to do my first commercial, and something really bad had happened that morning. I don't remember what it was, but I remember going into work thinking, man, this is a bad day. And I got to work, and I went on my first commercial shoot ever, because I had always been kind of an apprentice, and they're like, okay, we're going to send you on this commercial shoot. So I went out there, started shooting the commercial. The first 60 seconds of this woman doing a take, and I think it was a hair salon or something, the battery just dies. And she's like, I blocked out my entire day and set this place up as a set. And I'm like, I'm going to have to go back to the station and charge the battery for a few hours.
No.
And it was my birthday.
Aww.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't make it more embarrassing.
It does. Also, you guys didn't get me
Or did
anything.
you tell her that it's not your birthday? Did you tell her that you were going to take extra time because it was your... Did you tell her it was your birthday? That would be the embarrassing part.
I might have. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I do remember thinking this might be the worst day of my life.
Oh.
Because I had to go back to the station and tell my bosses, listen, I failed badly.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think to charge the thing the night before. I mean, it's just stuff you would know after doing it a few times. But that was pretty embarrassing and just bad in general.
We have a question that I'm going to tee up for when we come back. And Dirk wants to know, which one of you three is the most cuddly? So we will answer that when we return, along with more of your Ask Us Anything questions on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. And you got to come vote. We need to know, do you or anyone you know suffer from Trump derangement syndrome known as TDS? Let us know what you think. Annie Fry YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
WindowWorldSTLewis.com is the website for you to visit to shop locally here at your Window World, and understand that replacement windows that come from Window World are going to be exceptional. And that's a key point when you're investing in these replacement windows. You know that if you're going to have to replace a bunch of windows in your home, that it's not going to be like cheap and free. You want to make sure that you're getting quality windows, but you absolutely don't want to overpay for them. And anytime you can figure out how to make it more affordable, you want to do that. Window World understands that, which is why they are very excited to be announcing 36 months, up to 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. So you reach out to Window World at 314-993-1800. Window World, you go to 314-993-1800. And when you give them a call, ask them about a free estimate on your home for your windows. Ask them about how they have a lifetime warranty that goes along with them that includes parts, glass breakage, and labor. And when you call 314-993-1800, mention you heard about it on the Annie Fry Show, because you're going to be entered to win a drawing for 4 St. Louis Blues tickets during the upcoming season from Window World. 314-993-1800, online at windowworldstlewis.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
From trees that need planting to fences that need building, you have a lot to do. But that's no excuse to skip the most important step in any digging project, locating the underground facility. Submit a free locate request online at Missouri-811.org or by calling 811 3 working days before digging. Missouri 811 will contact the public utility owners so they can locate their underground utilities and you can dig with confidence. This ad is brought to you by Missouri 811.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility in this election year? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 38 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
The YouTube live chat poll today, we've been talking about it since noon. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS, that is Trump derangement syndrome? The options are yes, I do. And surprisingly, some people are saying that. Yes, people I know do, or no, I don't know anyone who does. Let us know where you are on today's YouTube live chat poll. 144, this time check, is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
We're here to help you get registered to vote, whether you're in Missouri or Illinois. Democracy 2024 on 97.1 FM Talk. If you need help getting registered, go to 971talk.com/vote.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Ryan, get back in here. Come on. We're trying to do a show.
I'm trying to do a dance.
With Kamala Harris on television. Enough.
Dancing with her.
Enough. I don't think she wants to see it. We've been playing a little Ask Us Anything, the YouTube live chat poll for you to participate in with us. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? So we want to know what you think. We've got 200 votes. 5% of you so far say you yourself suffer from TDS. So that has changed.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah. Oh, I guess, can you suffer from TDS and at the same time acknowledge it?
I think you can.
I guess you can.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a step in the right direction. I don't think that you've recovered.
It's the first step.
It's the first step, is acknowledgement.
Fair. Ask Us Anything. Dirk wants to know. I'll just throw this one to you, Ryan. You can walk us through this one. Which of the three of us is the most cuddly? Now, they did describe Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate and the governor of Minnesota, as cuddly. So I don't know if that factors into how you decide this or not, but what do you think?
Well, this is weird, but now this is the first time I've heard this question asked of the show.
It isn't?
No, somebody asked me once, and I said, I don't know, so I called Jared. Jared said you. And he said...
Imagine if he didn't.
Your husband said, based on experience, that he had not cuddled me, he had not cuddled Brad, and so you. And so the little focus group I did determined that I guess it's you.
Is that all? That's the science behind it all.
You got to have data, which I do.
George wants to know, which debate are you looking forward to the most, presidential or vice presidential? September 10th is the presidential one, correct?
Uh-huh.
People, all I'm going to say is put that date on your calendar and come back and see me when class is over.
September 10th.
September 10th.
Yeah. We're working on it.
Brian says Annie is less hairy, so she is cuddlier. I hate to inform you that Ryan waxes everything else.
Yes, I do. Therefore, you should cuddle me, sir, whatever your name was.
Begging for cuddles.
Thanks for introducing respect into the conversation as to not make it, what's the word? Weird.
Speaking of weird, to answer the question about the
which
debates, I really am looking forward more to the presidential debate because of the impact that it could have. But if I take out, the state of the nation, I kind of want to see J.D. Vance debate Tim Walz. Like, just for pure performance, I'd rather see that.
Can the vice presidential debate be consequential in this election?
I do think it can be this year.
How?
Tim Walz has been made into a superhero in the span of a week and a half. If he is somehow demoted from superhero to really far leftist, that could have a dramatic impact on this race.
J.D. Vance is seeming like an incredible pick right now.
Mm-hmm.
To the people on the side that want to see J.D. Vance be the vice president, he's looking like a very smart pick. He was not anywhere near the top of the list for my pick. I still think he should have picked Tulsi Gabbard. I think that would be just wildly shifting in the way people are, especially now that Kamala Harris is the top of the ticket, which I could have told you, well, I don't know if I ever was certain it was going to be Kamala, but I knew it wasn't going to be Joe Biden. The Tulsi Gabbard thing made so much sense to me for so many reasons. J.D. Vance just seemed like it was a reaffirmation of what Donald Trump is. But he's doing a really good job at it. And the more he's out there, the more I'm like, he seems more likable than I think.
Me too.
It's good to see him off of a Fox News talking head spot.
Yeah, because that's really nobody else wanted to carry him because he didn't have enough of a name before.
Well, I mean, like as a senator, he would go do the evening primetime shows on Fox News and do his Republican senator on Fox News evening show thing. And I'm almost like, same thing with Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley is fantastic. He is a wonderful senator. But I at least know where the direction we're running to when Josh Hawley is on with Sean Hannity or Waters or whoever else is on that. Like, I'm interested in what they have to say specifically if I have time. But if I see J.D. Vance at a rally or taking questions at a press conference, I just find it a little more compelling. It's more compelling for me for J.D. Vance. What are you looking forward to most, Brad?
I think I'm looking forward to the presidential debate the most because I do like as consequential as the VP debate will be. You okay, Ryan?
That was not a fart. I just went to take a drink,
Do it again.
and my straw did this.
His face goes,
And I was like, oh man, my mic is not muted.
I just looked over to see what we were doing.
My face, my eyes look like saucers. What did I do?
Go on. He did that on purpose. He did.
I think, yeah, he does. He likes doing that. I think that the presidential debate's going to be the most consequential, and I think it's where you will get the greatest contrast between what is actually on the ballot. It's kind of interesting, though. You talk about J.D. Vance and Tim Walz. It's like J.D. Vance is what Tim Walz is trying to impersonate.
That's very well put.
Did you see that the right is having a major struggle with Tim Walz's masculinity? No, they're not.
gosh.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I love it, though.
This is not a checkers chess thing. You guys are playing mousetrap, and these people over here are playing euchre. Why? Because they're from the Midwest. That's what they do. But it's not. It's not landing. When you say that the Republicans are struggling with Tim Walz's masculinity, you're only saying that to your epicenter base. They're the ones that are going, yeah, that's right, you dumb. But masculinity is the thing you hate the most. The more masculine, the more toxic, right? Mm-hmm. Not to people on the right. And you don't, this is A1, folks. This is at the top of the list of identifying whether someone is masculine. They will never tell you how masculine they are. You never have to hear it from someone. You never have to hear from somebody whose masculinity precedes themselves about the things they do that they consider to be masculine. They don't tell you. There are people who might be unsure about how masculine they are when they fit in. They start to tell you more and more and more and more.
No.
You didn't take the bait?
Hey, in Ryan's defense, he has never once claimed to be masculine.
The Tim Walz thing, I'm going to ignore you guys. The Tim Walz thing.
For once. How do we do this?
All of the criticisms that they're leveling at Vance and that they're trying to, and these kind of caricatured things about masculinity or Midwestern ideals that they're putting on Tim Walz, it's exactly what you said. The amount of people who are excited by that is like the tiniest little boroughs of San Francisco and the Beltway in Washington, D.C. that are eating like the most stereotypical eating spinach and tofu people like are going, yeah, I never realized. Very true.
There are a bunch of memes going around right now that are like, I don't know if it's like says Republicans for Harris or whatever it is, but they're people and they all got their 9 sticking out of their pants pocket so you can see like, I have gun. I hold gun here by my nondescript area of private parts.
It's like,
and then what I see people saying, a lot of people who are veterans or whatever are talking about like skinny arms and t-shirts. And they're like, but they put these people to do this out in the, why do you have a 9mm out in the, and why are you in the woods? What are you doing out there?
What are you doing?
Come back in. You could be masculine and suburban all at the same time. And you don't have to, like, the t-shirt and the camo hat or whatever it is that they just kind of swipe from, is it Real Tree? Real Tree is like, we got nothing to do with it. And all the capitalists on the right are like, whatever. Print those hats. We know. Nobody who is wearing a camo Real Tree hat with Harris on it is actually using that to hide from anyone. They want everybody to see you. It's quite the opposite. It's like the most non-camo you can possibly buy. It's pushing too hard.
It's great. It's
You're pushing too hard.
They're them going, I think that we're really connecting with Midwestern white voters.
Let's sit quietly and see what they do next. It looks like they're making a casserole. This time it's going to be, what's that? With beef and cheese and noodles. Let's wait and see what, oh, this looks like last time. This might be different shaped noodle. It's a different shaped noodle.
Arrested Development. You ever seen the show?
No. Heard of it.
Buster on that show is like the least manly. He almost is like a little kid all the time, and he kind of floats around. And here's an episode where he runs around going, Mom, I'm going to join Army. I'm going to prove to you he's a grown man.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove to you I'm going to join Army. I'm telling you. That's what this feels like. Yo, you got your gun out in the woods, do you?
Yeah. That's not the gun you take into the
That's
woods.
neat for
Unless
you.
you're going to commit crime. And if you're going to commit a crime, you're on the right side of the aisle, too, over there, because they won't call it a crime as long as they agree with your politics. Bizarre. Good segment.
You always know it's a good segment when you end it just a little too early.
X's and O's today?
Yeah, X's
You
and O's.
better have it because we have guests.
I got it. I'm ready to roll.
I'm excited. We're going to have Tim and Nikki in here. Tim is my longest friend that I've ever had, but he is putting together, he has done this charity event for, I think this is the 6th year in a row. They've added a music festival to a charity golf scramble, and Tim and Nikki are going to come in here and play X's and O's and tell us all about this very, very worthy cause that you can participate in September 14th in Edwardsville. So don't go away. X's and O's with my friends Tim and Nikki when we come back.
Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2024 with the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, The Association, Badfinger, The Vogues, and the Cowsills. Tonight, the Family Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Get ready for the all-new Athleta Presents Gold Over America Tour. Join Simone Biles and America's best gymnasts for a night of action-packed gymnastics. October 15th at the Family Arena. Fun for the whole family. You and your kids will love this high-energy spectacle. Music, lights, breathtaking flips, and Gold Squad dancers. Let's GOAT. October 15th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at goldoveramericaTour.com.
Saving starts at rulerfoods.com. Have you shopped there yet? I hope you have. If you already have gone shopping at Ruler Foods, then you know about their amazing produce, their meat department. You know about the frozen food section and the dairy products that they carry there and everything in between. The name brands that you love are at Ruler Foods. Now, you can also save by shopping Kroger brands that are at Ruler Foods prices. My family does both. There are some name brand things we must buy, but we are happy to try the Kroger brands as well, and we're always satisfied when we get to save those extra dollars to feed our family of 6. If you're feeding 6 people, if you're feeding 2 people, whatever it might be, why would you pass up the opportunity to save on great groceries? Ruler Foods has wonderful savings right now on fresh pineapple and mangoes, 99 cents each. Kroger 80% lean ground beef, sold in a 3-pound roll, just $3.66 a pound. You can enjoy Honeycrisp, Gala, or Red Delicious apples, $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. All the savings you need online at rulerfoods.com.
If you're thinking of selling your home, I'm sure there are 2 things you want: certainty and the most money, right? Hi, it's Mark Cox, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know the only agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first and only call when looking for an agent. Gloria doesn't make empty promises. No, she provides written guarantees. Now, what does this mean for you? Certainty. Now, certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Groceries and housing. Lisa Brady, Fox News. 2 key parts of an economic agenda Vice President Kamala Harris just rolled out in Raleigh, aiming to address voter concerns about high prices, despite the progress she says President Biden has made.
Still, we know that many Americans don't yet feel that progress in their daily lives. Costs are still too high.
One goal is to bring down the cost of buying or renting a house by building 3 million homes in the next 4 years.
A tax incentive for building starter homes, a $40 billion fund to spur housing construction. She says she wants to cut red tape and stop Wall Street investors from bulk buying homes. And here's a big one, $25,000 in down payment support for first-time homeowners. Of course, a lot of these proposals would require 1, congressional approval, and 2, more government spending.
Fox Business's Grady Trimble. Harris is also calling for a ban against price gouging on groceries by expanding the authority of the Federal Trade Commission. Texas Republican Congressman Jody Arrington calls Harris an economic arsonist showing up in a firefighter uniform.
To extinguish the flames of inflation that she set ablaze along with her accomplice Joe Biden.
Former President Trump says Harris's inflation plans are an admission the policies she's been part of have failed. She says his plans would raise everyday costs on middle-class families. Renewed optimism for a ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas after 2 days of talks with mediators in Qatar. President Biden saying they're closer than they've ever been.
In a statement, mediators said the talks were constructive and done in a positive atmosphere, presenting Israel and Hamas with a proposal.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, that proposal aimed at bridging remaining gaps with a plan to reconvene next week in Egypt. America is listening to Fox News.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Improving weather as we go through our weekend. Partly sunny skies, though. Still kind of hot and humid going through the afternoon. We'll keep an eye out for a spot thunderstorm, 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, 70. The weekend, sunny skies, good temperatures, good humidity levels, 86 on Saturday. Saturday night, clear skies, 68. Sunday, sunny and comfortable, 86. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Public service announcement from Bart Inman, Air Conditioning. School starting 2024. So all the juniors and seniors, or possibly even the sophomores. But let's just say if you just know school's not for you because it bores you, trade schools is an option for you. A lot of the high schools have it. For your junior and senior year, you can receive credit upon graduation of high school, get a very, very good job in the trades. When I say very good job, you're building America, you're building the school that you're sitting in, you're building the house that you live in. You get great pride in building something every single day. You don't want to go to college, pick a trade school. I'm partial to Rankin Technical, so pass this along. If you're not in the trades or if you're a parent or your grandparent, speak with your child or your grandchild. Remember, boys or girls, the trades are available and you're not putting your kids in debt for a useless piece of paper. God bless.
The Retirement Advisory Group, you find them online at retirementkey.com. If you are nearing retirement, you need to connect yourself with Bob and Tammy Kershaw and Thomas Helbig because they can help you make that transition. It's different if you're my age, you're 40, you know, you got a lot of years ahead of you, decades ahead of you before retirement happens. But for someone like you are right there and you are very excited about it, but you're probably a little anxious about it as well. So make sure that you pair yourself up with the best in the business. The Retirement Advisory Group is free to contact at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. And you can sit down and have a free conversation with them. Tell them about where you are. Tell them about what retirement looks like for you. And then they will set you up so that you can enjoy that worry-free retirement. You knowing what's going to happen next is what takes the fear out of it. And it's a phone call away. Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and Tammy Kershaw at 314-993-9494. Give them a call. Tell them Annie sent you. You can find them online at retirementkey.com.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
We know you've got an interesting take on things. You can tell us by clicking the microphone button next to Listen Live when you're on the Odyssey app. Record a short message for us to hear when you tune into 97.1 on the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
And you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Well, it's a very exciting point in the Annie Fry Show for me because, we have been doing X's and O's less frequently lately because we want to make sure that when we do it, we have very special people in here to participate with us. And today is definitely one of those times. I am joined by, I would say, I don't think, Tim, it would be wrong for me to say that you are my longest friend that I've ever had. Would you say that's about right?
Yeah, I think we started hanging out in preschool.
We started hanging out in preschool, yeah. We went to a Lutheran preschool together and ended up going through grade school, through high school, most of high school together, and then college, SIU. Yeah. And so our families have always known each other. And one of the things that I've known about Tim and his family is they've always been involved in ministry, but also missionary work. And Tim has his better half with him today as well, which I think he'd also agree with. Nikki, his wife, is in here as well to talk to us about something that they have put together. It's really a labor of love of theirs. They've done a great job of growing this each year. So we're going to talk a little bit about an event that they have coming on that I really want you to come and check out as well. It's in Edwardsville. So, Tim, first talk to me about the mission work that you've gotten partnered with, and then we'll talk about the event that you're holding that people can come and participate and support you in.
So growing up in Marine, our neighbors, probably when I was about 15, so this would be 25 years ago, they went down on a mission trip to Guatemala and then went for a week, came back, loved it, went back for a month, and then they decided to move down there, take all their kids, and since the past 25 years, they've built a hospital. She was a nurse, and he's a pilot, so they got a dirt runway. And yeah, so they're down there spreading the gospel and helping out the local communities.
It's so cool because, I mean, our families, did you ever go to Honduras? Did you ever do that?
I did not.
Neither did I, but both of your parents?
I know my mom.
Your mom did, my mom did, and your brother, yeah, and I've had siblings go as well. On a mission trip. I think that's through World Gospel Outreach, I think is what it's called. But there are a lot of structures that are put in place and systems that are put in place where you can get your church together and go on a mission trip and be a part of something. They're incredibly important. And those things change people's lives, certainly when they get to spend that week there. But these are people who you said, like he said, Marine, Illinois people. If you know where Marine is, you know. But these are people who you knew very personally, and then they made this their life. It's like it's the full commitment. You can't commit to something more than they have.
Yeah, and it's the local area there. It's dirt floors, no electricity, no running water, in a lot of these areas. Two of the programs that we work directly with is they do a nursing program. So they offer this to local girls who they can do a 2-year program, and that costs $700 to sponsor that.
So they can become a nurse essentially for
Yes.
$700.
Yeah, so they have to work with the government to get all the appropriate stuff. But yeah, it's 2 years, $700, and they train local women to be able to become nurses.
So what kind of, like for someone like that to spend 2 years to become a nurse, what kind of impact can that have on a location like that to have this trained medical professional that, I mean, $700 sounds like a book fee here, but they can get this entire education there. Like, how big of an impact can a nurse make there?
Well, that it just changes lives, changes the whole area, and with them getting that hospital built, it's also drawing there's a dentist that has moved down there, so it has more draw to the area to bring other people that want to help also. And then they go out and do clinics up in the mountains where you got to have 4-wheel drive vehicles. So they go up there once a week and help the local areas up there.
Have you both gone?
Yes.
Nikki, you've gone and experienced this?
Yes.
Tell me what it's like to be there as somebody who comes from, the spoils of a first world country into a situation like that. What is that experience like?
Definitely made me feel bad for how much that we have, and I realized we need a lot less. Being able to go up there, I mean, without us being able to give them anything at that clinic, these women would have nothing else. So it was really impacting to see what a difference it would make in their life just by us giving the smallest amount of our time. And then knowing whenever you do donating $700, not only is that changing the life of one person, it's changing everything for their entire family.
And the community, to be able to have access to that, it really is amazing. I remember the first time you had just started doing a golf scramble for this particular mission. And how many times have you guys gone?
I've been down to Guatemala here twice. So when I was 18, when they were first starting up, and then we went 2020 right before COVID. We got back just in time.
Yeah. I would imagine that the growth is probably exponential for what you guys are able to bless people with. But talk to me about this event that is coming up on September 14th in Edwardsville. I mean, you said there's a charity golf scramble, and you said there might be a slot or two left. So if you want to golf in this, you need to get on that.
Yeah, so we're really kind of turning this into an event with a golf scramble. So we can take 14 teams. It's just 9 holes at the American Legion in Edwardsville. So we're about half full with that. So we are still taking teams, but I'm sure they'll fill quick. But the main thing is if you can just come out, we'll have live music from noon till 10, and then there'll be vendors. We'll have food trucks, and the vendors, anybody that's there, food truck or vendor, they're all donating a percentage back, and all these bands are donating their time, and just a lot of people coming together donating time and their efforts to make this a success.
Do you have a goal? Or are you just trying to see how God blesses you?
Last year we managed $10,000, and we have a lot more going on this year. So we're whatever God gives us is a blessing.
So what's the best way? I know there's ADONAI internationalministries.org, so people can learn more about the mission that you were talking about being involved in. Bringing healthcare to these people directly is such an impactful thing that you can do. But how do you want people to find out more? I'm going to put on our Facebook page, on the Annie Fry Show Facebook page. I'm going to put the flyer up there. I'll tweet it out as well. But how do people get in contact with you? Because they can sponsor too. If they want to make a donation to be a sponsor or partner with you in this event, are you taking those sponsors? Will you take people's checks?
Yes, we will take checks. And it'll go directly to ADONAI International Ministries, and all this goes directly to either there's a Widows Project and then the nursing program. But you can contact me whether you want a team. We're doing whole sponsorships, so that's $250 for a whole sponsorship, and my business is matching $50 for every $250 sponsorship. But if you contact me directly, I can steer you in the right direction.
Okay. Well, we've got the flyer up on the live stream right now, and I'll make sure I put it out on all my social stuff too. If it's something that sounds like you would like to be involved in or support, definitely come out and have a great time on September 14th at the Edwardsville American Legion. It's in Edwardsville. It's really easy to find. Come out and have a great time. If this is something that you can't attend, but you still feel and see the obvious need here in ministry that's taking place and missionary work that's taking place, stay close to my socials and I'll send this out. And then I'm just going to tell you to send Tim a big fat check so he can send it on to Guatemala and help these people, these neighbors that he had here who are now in Guatemala helping new neighbors. I think it's pretty fantastic. Have you ever done a mission trip? Have you ever done any of this? I know.
I've only done mission trips actually within the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So we've gone into very impoverished areas a couple times. My wife has been internationally, but I have not.
Have you, Brad?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we went down to Mexico and we helped them build an orphanage and worked with some kids down there.
It's pretty amazing.
Oh, man, it's life-changing. We took a youth group down there and they all came back changed. They were never the same afterwards.
There's obviously a spiritual thing that goes on there, but like Nikki, like you were saying, the experience of seeing how happy people can be with so much less.
Yeah,
and then you come home and you're like,
eye-opening.
there's so much stuff everywhere. Don't need it. All right. Well, we're going to play X's and O's right now, and I'm going to continue to remind you to support this cause. It's a very worthy cause. Like I said, I've known Tim forever, and I would never put somebody on here who wasn't doing the absolute best with their time, and Tim is 100% doing that. So, and Nikki as well. All right. Well, you guys ready to fight to the death? Yeah, I'm sorry. It gets really downhill from here. All right. X's and O's. This is where I put Ryan in charge of this so I can quit working on a Friday. Go on.
That's right. But you still do have to answer questions because Annie and Brad are the experts here. Tim and Nikki are our great guests, which we're doing X's and O's, and we have great guests like you guys, so thank you for being here. What we have is a tic-tac-toe board up in the studio with 9 squares numbered 1 through 9.
Incredibly high tech.
You will each pick a square and then pick an expert, either Brad or Annie, to answer the question for you. You simply have to agree or disagree with their answer to a topic that is from current events from the last week or so. So I'm just going to say Nikki's going to go first. That's just the way it's going to be. Timmy did a great job talking about the ministry.
Sexist to me, if you ask me, but
I do want to hear from Nikki as far as the game goes first because ladies go first. So, Nikki, where do you want to start on the tic-tac-toe board?
Let's start with number 1.
Top left.
Number 1, and who is going to answer that question for you?
Annie.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Annie, you have found our audio whoopee of the week. We found out that yes, indeed, and I wrote this before we talked about it on the show, so it might be a little easy.
Okay, good. I like these.
We found out that yes, indeed, Kamala Harris has done one interview in the last 26 days.
I know.
Since Biden dropped out.
Super cuddly.
And the campaign released a trailer of the interview. Yes, a movie trailer of the one interview.
With?
Yesterday, Kamala Harris.
I was hoping
you,
maybe we wouldn't have to.
I called you, Tim.
Yes.
You didn't answer, Tim.
I know.
What happened?
The most important call of my life. It popped up, and we didn't recognize the caller ID, and it went to voicemail.
That is Tim Grodefant.
That was Kamala talking to you, Tim.
How ironic that he's here.
It's really amazing that we've booked such a great guest. Good job, Brad.
We wanted to get the first interview after the interview.
Right.
Tim.
So the question is, who did Kamala Harris finally sit down for an interview with?
That masculine man, governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz.
Nikki, agree or disagree?
I agree.
Thank you.
That is correct.
Thanks. There you go. So you get to pick an X or an O and put it up in square one. What are you picking, Tim?
Always the X. Always the X first. Nobody ever picks the O's, Tim. Sorry. But you are O's.
It's like when Joe Biden picked Luigi in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That's how you knew. That's when we knew.
All right, Tim.
4 is my lucky number. It might not be the best.
4 is your lucky number. All right.
Middle left.
All right. And who is answering for you?
I will take Brad.
All right. Let's do this, Tim.
Brad, you have stumbled into AI. This is a real clip from the week run through artificial intelligence. So it's a real quote, but it won't sound like the person saying it. Tell me who said this.
That angst that J.D. Vance talks about in Hillbilly Elegy? None of my hillbilly cousins went to Yale.
Who said that,
Oh,
Brad?
man. Well, I'm going to go with Annie's answer of that masculine man, Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota.
Seems pretty confident.
You can't just make all the answers Tim.
Wouldn't that be kind of fun, though, if it was?
I'm calling you on this.
Hey, that was question number 2.
I know, we're 2 for 2.
I'm going to agree.
well, Tim, here's who said that.
That angst that J.D. Vance talks about in Hillbilly Elegy, none of my hillbilly cousins went to Yale.
I would like him to name his hillbilly cousins.
I would too. Your hillbilly cousins in northern Minnesota?
Yeah.
Such a caricature.
They're probably all named Tim.
Nobody calls people from Minnesota hillbillies.
Unless you think it'll get you votes.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The next answer to the question is Tim Walz. Which box do you want to go to next, guys?
Wait, he gets an O.
I know. I'm just...
4.
4 is it?
Put
4
your
is an
circle
O.
in there, Tim.
Tim, go ahead and put O in 4. And then
Nikki?
Nikki, where do you want to go?
Number 5, of course.
Okay, the answer is Tim Wells.
Center square.
Wells?
Tim Wells.
Tim Wells.
I don't know.
I changed it up a little bit to, throw a wrench in things. All right, did you say number 5?
Yeah.
All right, who's answering?
Annie.
Okay.
Annie, comedian Tim, again, I can't believe this.
Yes, you can.
Comedian Tim Heidecker did a fake audition to play J.D. Vance on SNL by wearing eyeliner and talking about Diet Mountain Dew. But a bigger headline was that a very famous comedian turned down an invitation to play Vance's counterpart, Tim Walz, on SNL, telling Lorne Michaels, quote, "Sorry, I don't do impressions." Who turned down SNL's offer to play Tim Walz?
Ooh, I have no idea.
These are all about Tim Walz. Who came up with these? I'm just looking around the room.
Ew. Who would be a good guess? I don't know. Nate Bargatze.
Okay. Nate Bargatze.
I don't think that's right. You should disagree.
I'll just disagree.
Nikki, that is correct. It was, does anybody know? Steve Martin.
Oh my gosh, I was going to guess him.
Steve Martin, because he has a resemblance.
No, he's not. He's just like the only old
He's
white
just
guy
like-
that would probably come back
and
and
has
do
white
it.
hair. Like, that's it. But he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't do impressions.
All right, Nikki is threatening, so we should take a break so people still listen.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
All right, you guys doing okay? All right, yeah. They're just nodding their heads. I am sharing on the break here the flyer for this event, so please consider supporting Tim and Nikki and this effort to help these folks in Guatemala. It is the simplest check that you can write today, or just come out and hear some great music and play some golf. Snag one of those last spots left on that golf tournament. We're going to be right back with the rest of X's and O's in just a minute. Don't go away.
Seeking you will find. Joy still comes in the morning. Hope still walks with the hurting. If you're still alive and breathing, praise the Lord.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan, a phone call or a text message away, 314-324-4440. When you reach Stewie directly, you can talk to him about how a bagel loan can be the smartest move you can make when you get that new home. You're shopping for a home, you know the floor plan you like, you know the finishes you like or the location you like, but you might not be thinking first and foremost about the mortgage that you like. Well, you need to know about the bagel loan and have that conversation with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage to find out more. Like why, when you get a bagel loan, you pay zero closing costs in order to get that mortgage acquired. It's a simple phone call. You can even send him a text message to 314-324-4440. And when you reach out to him, tell him Annie sent you and that you'd like to know more about how you can get a mortgage today. Yes, rates have come down a little bit from their high highs, and he's only a phone call away. You can Google the bagel loan to find out more information as well. NMLS number 226715.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun. Always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. For a limited time, save $55 off a new water heater. Air Comfort Service not only installs attic insulation and HVAC systems, they also install water heaters. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Got my friends Tim and Nikki in studio with us, and I just put it up on Facebook, so make sure you go find the Annie Fry Show Facebook page to learn more about this amazing ministry that they support and this missionary work that they support. Tim, just one more time, people can participate in this event September 14th to, it's a music festival. There's a charity golf scramble to begin with. Tell us a little bit more about when and where and what people can do to enjoy this.
Music will start at noon, and there'll be food trucks, and the music will go till 10. So we'll have different food vendors coming and going, and different vendors, whether it be boutiques or, and then there'll be a silent auction and all sorts of stuff that you can participate in that day.
Perfect. September 14th. It's an all-day thing. All proceeds go to benefit ADONAI International Ministries. Correct? All right. Okay, back to the bloodbath.
All right.
Wait, it's tied. No, it's Tim's turn.
It's Tim's turn, and if he gets this one, it'll be tied. Nobody's missed a question yet.
Okay.
But
Take
Nikki
it.
is winning currently, and I want to acknowledge that. All right, Tim, where do you want to go?
The 9
Yeah,
spot.
I mean, that makes sense for the block. Okay. Number 9, and who is your expert?
I will stick with Brad.
It's like
Brad.
boys versus girls.
All right, yeah, here we go.
Does kind of feel that way. Brad, I'm rooting for you guys, by the way. You know why? I'm a boy.
He keeps telling people, I don't know why he feels the need, but go on.
Beto O'Rourke is saying Texas is in play for candidate Kamala Harris. Of course, Beto O'Rourke also said Texas was in play for candidate Beto O'Rourke, who is not a U.S. senator. What year did Beto run for Senate in Texas?
Oh, man. Okay. He ran against Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is running now, so now -6 would be 2018. I'm going to go with 2018.
I'm going to agree.
Tim, he really walked through that very well.
Good.
Good job.
He convinced me.
Yeah, he convinced me, and I had the answer.
History and math all at the same time.
It was great. You should have been here yesterday. He was on fire.
I would have liked to have been. Did you guys just do math problems?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, for the 2 o'clock.
It was like math and marks.
Math and Marxism. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of what we should have called 2 o'clock hour yesterday.
Good alliteration.
Nikki, he just blocked you. Now what are you going to do?
Say it again.
I'm going to pick number 3.
Number
Okay.
3. Number 3. Who is your expert?
Oh, Annie.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right, Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise put on a Mission Impossible stunt show at the Olympic closing ceremonies. Even
Scientology.
at Nikki, agree or disagree? Even at 62 years old, by the looks of the cover art, Mission Impossible stopped numbering their movies at 5.
Yeah, it's when I stopped caring too.
Mm-hmm. Choosing to just name them individually now.
Mhm.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning came out last year. The next one is scheduled to come out next year. What number in the Mission Impossible series is the latest movie, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1?
The one that has just
The
happened?
one that just came out last year.
Well, there's at least 5. And then the boys got tired with numbers. 11.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is number 11. Agree or disagree?
I'm going to disagree because
Yeah,
we
there are a
quit
lot
caring
of other,
after 5.
Yeah, there are a lot of other numbers out there it could be.
That is solid logic, and that is the correct answer. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is number 7.
Okay.
And then number 8 will be next year.
That's how
Part
that
2.
works.
Yeah. Well, they're releasing them pretty close together. Is my
Yeah.
point. So, okay. Tim, making things pretty tough. And that was a tough question, too.
Smart
so
lady.
I really thought that might go the other way. But now you are up against the wall here. What are you going to do? Because there's 2 ways she could go.
Yeah, I'm going to go 7.
Okay, number 7. That gives you a shot. That's a good
Yeah.
move. Okay, number 7. You got to get it right, though. Who is your expert?
I'm sticking with boys versus girls.
All right.
Man,
This is just like when we were 3.
This is so much more pressure now. It's not just Tim, but it's like the weight of men everywhere.
It's all masculinity, including me, you, JD Vance, and Tim Walls.
That's a crowded room.
It is very. All right. You said number 7. So you have stumbled into AI once again. Another real clip run through AI won't sound like the person. Tell me who said this.
I don't want to, belabor this, but one interview before the end of the month, I mean. That's not a lot. I mean, can you commit to a press conference before the end of the month?
Ooh.
Brad.
That is journalist, quote unquote, Jim Acosta.
I'm going to agree.
Here's the right answer.
I don't want to, belabor this, but one interview before the end of the month. I mean, that's not a lot. I mean,
didn't hear
can
that.
you commit to a press
That from
conference
yesterday?
before the end of the month?
It was yesterday. Yeah, he had a campaign spokesman on and absolutely, 2 or 3 minutes, grilled this guy. You're not doing interviews.
Yeah.
Why isn't she doing anything? And he's like, well, we're doing a whole lot. We're not doing any interviews or press conferences, though. No. But we are doing a lot. Will you commit to it? We'll commit to doing a lot. That was the summation of it.
Doing the work.
Yeah. So in other words, they're not going to be doing any interviews or press conferences, just so you know. And if they do, they'll be very, very mild. All right, Tim, for the block, that worked. So now what happens, Nikki?
I'm going to go for the win with number 2.
Okay, for the first tic-tac-toe, because
Yeah.
we keep playing. All right, number 2, who's your expert?
Annie.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
Shocker.
Girl power.
All right, Annie.
That's what I'm all about.
The star of a new biopic on Ronald Reagan told Joe Rogan that big tech is censoring ads for the film. Fox News reports that the movie titled Reagan is set to be released on August 30th. Who plays Ronald Reagan?
Randy Quaid is not the right answer because he is the crop duster. And I mean that in the most literal sense, boys.
Uh-huh.
Ryan's
you
the
be
office.
careful now. You got a letter about this.
Yeah, Ryan's the office crop duster.
I'm talking about actual crop dusters.
I am too.
I don't think you are.
Okay,
I
set the
think
record straight.
it's-
I am talking about farts. And you got a letter saying, lay off of the farts.
I'm going to get another letter, but it's going to take about 2 weeks to get here.
It'll be
that
from
comes in the
farmers,
mail.
lay off the crop dusting.
I believe it. You're asking who plays Reagan, correct?
Yes.
Dennis Quaid.
I agree.
That is correct. Yeah! Man, you guys are all nailing it. All right. These are not the easiest questions either. All right. There's the first tic-tac-toe of the game.
All right.
Tim, you've played this very well, though, because you blocked her in one sense, but then you opened up the chance for you to get a tic-tac-toe and tie the game right now. So I assume you're going to go with...
I will take 8.
Number 8. And I assume you're going to go with...
Brad.
Brad, you have found our second audio whoopee.
Whoopee.
J.D. Vance and Donald Trump have been doing every press conference that they can find, and they're talking policy. Vance suggested a child tax credit expansion.
So tell me specifically what you want to do to expand the child care tax credit, because it's like $2,000 per kid right now.
Well, I think one of the things you can do is make it bigger per child. I think we'd love to see it at a higher dollar value. And again, President Trump and I have proposed that. I mean, look, I'd love to see a child tax credit per child, but you, of course, have to work with Congress to see how possible and viable that is.
What does J.D. Vance want to raise the child tax credit to?
$5,000.
$1 million.
$1 million per child.
That's probably Kamala's like, I'll see his 5.
So you already know what happened then, didn't you? Kamala came out and said, well, I'm going to up it. That's my policy now.
Hey! Hi!
$5,000?
Tim, agree?
He seemed pretty confident. I'm going to agree.
Here is the answer.
I mean, look, I'd love to see a child tax credit that's $5,000 per child, but you, of course, have to work with Congress.
There you go. And, of course, the news, this broke today, that she released her economic policy, and she said, I want a child tax credit, too. I want one that's $6,000.
Did she?
She really did.
Did she say?
That, yes. I kid you not. That really is
Trump's
part of her
going to come
policy.
out with $5,500.
Oh, yeah? Well, ours is 7 now.
I bet you, Donald, Kamala Harris's has income earning restrictions that Trump's J.D. Vance proposal didn't.
Mm-hmm. I bet that Kamala Harris doesn't know that.
I agree.
All right, Nikki, this is the way we like it. Now, each of you has a tic-tac-toe.
This is good.
You've played this very, very well.
Yeah.
And we are down to the last square of the game, which will be the tiebreaker. So, number 6, who do you want? Because there's actually an even number here. Who do you want to be your expert?
Annie.
All right.
Okay, Annie.
Tim knows the sucks for him.
I really like that it's come down to this. I really don't know that this is an easy question, but
No.
it's gettable.
Is this about music?
No, it's not. It's another Olympic question.
Okay, that's not good for me either.
The games are now behind us. The USA fared well, finishing with the most overall medals, but tied with China for the most gold. How many gold medals did the USA and China get?
Together?
Well, you can give me together or separate, either way. How about separate? We'll just make it clear.
19.
19 golds.
I disagree.
Is that high or low?
That's a lot of gold records. But would that win the Olympic total?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I literally don't know.
Nikki?
It sounds like the answer is a no.
I'm definitely going to disagree.
You can take the win.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You got it. You got it, Nikki. Good job.
Tic-tac-toe. A winner.
Does anybody know the
Is it
answer?
40?
It's 40.
40.
It's 40. 80
Come
total.
on.
Yeah, 80 together. Exactly.
We got 80 golds? No, 40 each.
40 each. Yeah. Nikki is rolling her eyes at you.
No, she should be happy that I was so off that it couldn't have even been construed close to the truth.
That was a well-played game.
Yeah, good job, guys. That's as even Stevens as a tic-tac-toe game can get.
Yes, it is.
You can fight for the rest of the day as to how it should have been you, because you should have gone first, Tim, but Nikki went first, and so she got the
Ladies
tiebreaker.
first.
There you go. All right. Well, Tim and Nikki, thank you for
Thank
coming
you
in
for
here.
having us.
You bet. I want to encourage you to check out that September 14th event. It's at the Edwardsville American Legion, and I'm sharing it with y'all right now. It is 11 a.m. is registration for the golf scramble, but you got to get your spot reserved. They're going to have a award reception. There's a music festival. You said the music starts at noon?
At noon.
At
and
noon?
We'll go through 10. We have, 4 or 5 bands?
Free entry, food truck, silent auction. All proceeds go to benefit ADONAI International Ministries. Is that right?
Yep.
Tell me once again where this is. September 14th.
Edwardsville, American Legion.
Edwardsville, American Legion. Okay.
Yes.
When I heard all the bands, I'm like, man, that's an event.
It took me that long to sell it to you.
Well, I was listening, but I was also writing things down.
They're in the room with us right now.
Tim, can you tell me once again what this event is?
Just check the podcast. My dear friend Tim and his beautiful wife Nikki in here with us to play X's and O's and talk to us about something great and selfless that they're doing, and we wanted to make sure we shared it with you. So thank you guys. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. We'll be right back with the results of today's YouTube live chat poll in a minute. Don't go away.
I bet a sucker could ever spend, but I wouldn't give a sucker or a bum from the rock and not a dime till I made it again. Everybody go, oh,
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. I depend on them for eye care, and they have an announcement. They're pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to their practice. Dr. Berry is a cornea surgeon, and he has the latest knowledge and techniques for advanced eye care and treatment in the field. So what do we call them now? The doctors? No, just the best doctors to see for your best vision. In St. Louis, you can reach them at 314-966-5000. They've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any others in the practice. Now, if you need help with dry eye, LASIK surgery, maybe you have glaucoma, macular degeneration. I had an eye disease when I was just 25 years old, so my eyes are very important to me. You get the absolute best care with the Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Bersati, Andy Royer, and now Dr. Samuel Berry. 314-966-5000 or visit youridoc.com. They have a great location just off Manchester Road, a half-mile west of 270. Ophthalmology Associates.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole-body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code BETTER and get 15% off your first purchase with code BETTER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME Deodorant.com, code BETTER for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LUME Deodorant.com, code BETTER to save 15% today.
I want to talk to you about Midwest Wing Fest because this is one of the most fun nights of the year. You've probably seen it before. Maybe you've been to it before. It's in Fairview Heights at the St. Clair Square by Dillard's, and the event is happening August 30th and August 31st. MidwestWingFest.com, the Friday and Saturday of Labor Day weekend. They have live music, they have food vendors, they have a children's play area, and a wing eating contest. And proceeds benefit local combat wounded soldiers and the families of fallen heroes. They have over 25,000 people show up to this thing annually, and it is an amazing event. It's so much fun. I just recently retweeted a video of Ryan living his best life.
I love this event.
With a fried Twinkie.
It's so close again.
And
this is an annual great event.
And some great music. If you are interested in learning more into securing your tickets and learning how you can even volunteer to help this really great cause, I want to encourage you to visit them online. Remember, it's in Fairview Heights. It's Wings for Warriors, and it's Midwest Wing Fest. It's Friday and Saturday of Labor Day weekend. Online right now, all the details and tickets at MidwestWingFest.com.
Celebrate the month of August with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $119 and take 20% off your air duct cleaning. Call right now, 314-474-2020, or book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
We are almost to the end of the show, but you have a little time to vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome? A couple of options for you. Yes, I do. I can't wait to hear what the percentage is on that one. Yes, people I know do, or no, I don't know anybody that does. Let us know what you think. It is the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll of the day, 2:45. This time check brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Donald Trump is not a convicted felon. You are not a convicted felon until you have been sentenced. He has not been sentenced yet, so therefore he cannot be called a convicted felon. Thanks.
That's Cheryl, and she left us a message. How did she get us that message? It was magic.
Well, 2 ways. One is magic. Number 2
if that
is,
doesn't work for you.
Yeah, and if you don't participate in magic, we don't dabble. We are Christians. Why is this happening?
So bad.
It's Friday. It's almost 3.
Yeah, I know. Pretty soon Stu's going to be like, your show's about 30 minutes too long. And be like, no, that's Ryan's
Mark
part
Reardon
of the show.
starting now at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the Odyssey app, you click on 97.1. So just like you would normally listen to 97.1 on the app, or if you don't have it, download it.
Odyssey, Audacy.
That's right, Odyssey.com. You download the app, and you can get every station in the country on there, but you listen to 97.1. And as you are, you will see the microphone in the bottom right corner there next to the Listen Live button. So look for that microphone. You just hit it. It'll start recording whatever you want to say, and then you hit it to stop, and it'll send it to us.
You excited about this new feature?
We enjoyed it yesterday. It wasn't even intended to be funny, but I'll take the laugh. I guess when you build up a reputation, people just like, oh, what you said was funny. I was like, oh, I didn't really mean for it to be, but okay, hey, I'm goofy.
What kind of reputation do you think you've built up here, sir?
Just kind of a funny guy.
Yeah, that's what I think. Now I need you to go into the Odyssey app and tell me what kind of reputation you think that Ryan Wiggins has.
I want to hear about Brad and Annie's reputations. Too.
No, do you have access to these clips?
Yeah.
Do I?
Probably. I don't know.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I want to know that they can happen. Do you have them?
I have them. Yeah.
So if people send these to you, I can't weed out the mean ones. If they sent, not that they would send me.
I can see everything. I can see the morning shows. You can see our show. You can see my show. You can see Mark Reardon's. Dana Lash keeps hers private. That's not true.
Okay, Kevin. What did she call you?
Kyle. It was Kyle.
You were such a Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was on maternity leave.
But you got my last name right.
I was on maternity leave, and it was right the day after I got home from the hospital, everything on the station decided we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to do something else. And
at least noon to 3 was.
Yeah, it was just my show. It just felt very in my lane.
Yeah.
And so Ryan had to help me out, and he did, and he was very generous and kind to do so, as did Dana Lash. We ran her show during this slot, which is when it airs live. We aired a portion of Ryan Wiggins.
Well, that's what's funny is that it was partially Dana Lash.
Aired a partial show of the Dana Show, which originally began in this time, I guess on Sundays, but this time slot on 97.1 specifically is where Dana Lash started, right here on 97.1 in this spot. And so we put her on during my spot, and we, as a station, elected to have her do some promos that would really like goose you up there and make you look really, really big and important. So she said what?
So at the end of the summer, I was doing part of the show and Dana was doing part of your show. And so like, how about if we have Dana promote Ryan and Ryan can always promote Dana? And I was like, well, that's great. I'll do that. And so we got back some liners from her and they were like, listened right before my show on the Andy Fry Show for Kyle Wiggins. And I was like, man, I think I've made it, you guys. This is great.
That was so
She got half my name right, and I couldn't be more thrilled.
The whole thing.
Yeah. I made them into actual promos, too.
Yeah. I think that might have been a part of a reel of something that the show has won an award for. Possibly.
I think that sounds familiar. It's been a while.
Oh, man. The YouTube live chat poll for today. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? Yes, I suffer from TDS. Yes, people I know suffer from TDS. Or no, I don't know anyone. Your response to this one, Brad, what do you think?
Yeah, I know people that suffer from TDS. It's kind of unfortunate. I wish it wasn't the case because it would make being friends with them a lot easier. But it's still, I'm going to be friends with them.
Alex says, and I'm not going to put their name up because if this person says, my wife can get visibly upset when even discussing Trump. I am a Trump supporter, so we basically cancel each other's presidential vote out. Thank you for that. Dirk said, no, I don't personally know anyone with TDS. I do know folks with IDS, ignorance derangement syndrome. They won't vote for ignorance like Harris and Walz. Okay. Let's see here. Charlie says, I have TDS, total Donald supporter.
Mm-hmm. That's what I order when I go to a restaurant. The duck soup. And I just shorten it. Yeah.
To TDS?
Yeah.
Okay. Stringer said, think about the lows you have to sink to defend this man. It's destroyed the conservative movement. It's always rich when people who are not in the conservative movement tell you about how the conservative movement is being destroyed. Sometimes it's almost an indication that it's as strong as it's ever been. Frank said, I personally know several recovering TDS sufferers. That's pretty exciting. Do you know anybody in your life? It doesn't have to be TDS level, but do you know anyone in your life that has made the about face on Donald Trump, or even the other way, where they used to be huge supporters and now they're like, can't?
I don't really know anybody who's gone the opposite direction. I do know people who, here's a weird one because it's somebody who is a conservative friend of mine. I talk to him all the time, and he's conservative enough that I don't think he's ever not voted Republican, but he just did not like Trump. And he talked negatively about Trump more than he talked positively, even though he's probably voting for him. After the assassination attempt, that guy was like, look, I am on board. That dude, they are trying to take that dude out. And I have never been more on board with Donald Trump. And coming out of his mouth, I was shocked.
I'm always amazed at how many people who criticize Donald Trump, specifically, we have a very non-objective slice of people in our YouTube chat every day, like as a profile of the electorate. We've, of course, got people who are passionate about politics, who listen to the show with regularity, so they're informed to whatever extent, whether it's they want to know what we think or what the news is, or they want to know what we think because they completely disagree with everything we do and say, and they're doing some oppo research. But the people who really detest Donald Trump really spin their wheels uselessly on deception every day. There might be some things, I would look at somebody who comes out and says, I think that it's outrageous that in the civilized country of the United States of America, I think it's outrageous, they might say, that we don't have health care provided to us, blah, blah, blah. I completely disagree with that, but I could see how somebody might think that there's a system that is better for everybody if you do that. Yes, you have to pretty much start taking control of everybody's assets to do it, but it's a bridge they're willing to cross. I'm not. But if you have a policy position on that, okay. But they always lay the foundation on the shifting sands of, like what caller Linda reached out to us today, just couldn't have set up a better first call for our Friday afternoon phone calls, to have somebody call in and say, People accuse me of having TDS, but I don't know if I do. Why don't you let me? And then she just basically gave the Mayo Clinic version of TDS. And it's like, yeah, that's it. But the lies, I mean, even if you've got things, Donald Trump has lots of unsavory things in his past. I don't know many people who have none, but Donald Trump has his fair share. I do wholeheartedly, in my heart of hearts, believe that Donald Trump is a good man. That will shake people. What's literally shaking at the core, whatever they say on Twitter. I actually think he's a good man. I think he's a broken sinner of a man, but I would consider myself to be the same thing. I don't understand why, if you're trying to really persuade me to see your side of things, why you would start with so many provable lies.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Even if your policy issue is, you know what, I really think the greatest threat to mankind is climate change. We're all going to die. I want to vote for a party that's going to take that seriously. If you led with that, I would think, you know what, I disagree with your policy, but we could talk about these things. And that's the way we used to be. People used to lead with policy. When you talk about Donald Trump, the first thing they're going to say is something along the lines of, it's not always this thing, but along the lines of, I can't vote for a racist.
Yeah.
It's all just personal attacks that have nothing to do with electing a policy head.
I think Donald Trump is a good person, and I don't think there is an ounce of racism in his body. Do you agree?
I agree with that 100%.
I haven't seen anything that would suggest that there is. Now, that's going to make people blow up, too, because they're going to pull some quotes. But if you're going to talk about Charlottesville or some of these things that gets pulled up a lot, you're quoting them out of context, and you've been told that, and you still do it.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, Ryan. Usually whenever you find something... The thing about it was that was the default setting for Democrats whenever they complained about any Republican.
Yeah. Well, the YouTube poll is over. 250 votes today on a Friday. That's pretty high for a Friday. Thanks for participating with us. Do you or anyone you know suffer from TDS? We have 5% of people who raised their right hand and said, I suffer from TDS. 5%. All right. 21% said they don't know anyone, and 74% of y'all said, yeah, I know people. Hang in there, and remember, the people in your life are more important than politics. Be loving, be kind, be open-minded, and be principled. You can do all those things at the same time. Mark Reardon Show up next.
It is so hot. I mean, it's expected here at times, especially this time of year in St. Louis. But man, and when it gets this hot, I've heard the egg farmers are having a serious problem. That's just what I heard. Again, it might be true, it might not. It sounds like it sounds like it probably is true that the chicken farmers are having trouble having the eggs because it's so hot. When the chickens lay the egg, it becomes a baby chick. That's hot. So I can only imagine what it is in your house. Well, I don't have to imagine. I've been in your houses when your air conditioner is not working or when it breaks. So if yours is broken or it's not cooling really good, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois, the easiest of numbers, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, bartinman.com. Now that is a Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the Wealth Cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And